Welcome to the NFC West Roundtable, a weekly live show featuring top-tier insight and analysis on all things NFC West from the best creators in the division, including Los Angeles Rams creator Jake, San Francisco 49ers creator Jesse, Seattle Seahawks creator Brandon, and Arizona Cardinals creator Mike. Catch the NFC West Roundtable every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern on the NFC West Roundtable YouTube channel. What is up, NFC West football fans, and welcome into another edition of the NFC West Roundtable. Let me be the last to wish you a very Merry Christmas and a happy holiday. Hope you enjoyed your time with the fam. Hope you enjoyed your NFC West football, because I know me and the fellas sure did. Here on the NFC West Roundtable tonight, we recap what we saw in a wild Week 17, where we saw an upset for the ages, where we saw the Seattle Seahawks and the San Francisco 49ers make fate inevitable in Week 18, and the Arizona Cardinals take on the Cincinnati Bengals. All that and more coming your way here on this episode. And of course, on the back half, we look forward to Week 18, and oh boy, is it a doozy. We give you our previews and predictions, including the game that has the division title on the line, the 1 seed on the line, and most importantly, a hat bet on the line. Without further ado, let's bring in the fellas. It's Brando, it's Mike, it's Jake, it's Jesse. Fellas, what a time to be a part of the NFC West Roundtable. Are you kidding me? The stars are aligning, and just when we think we got this division figured out, you have no clue. But what we did know is there was going to be a chance that this division would come down to Week 18. That's exactly what's going to happen. We'll, of course, talk about that on this episode. But we start with what we just saw in the division on Monday Night Football, and what we saw was a stunner that nobody on here predicted. If you go back to the prediction episode last week, everybody thought the Rams, coming off a heartbreaking loss to the Seahawks, were going to roll the Falcons. It just seemed like it was inevitable. They come off a brutal loss. They're pissed. They're going to dominate a team that's inferior and a team that holds their future 2026 draft pick. You tune in, and all of a sudden, the Atlanta Falcons are up 21-0 at halftime. You watch the duration of the football game, and despite an incredible effort at the end, despite a near catch by Puka Nacua to get in field goal range to tie it, it was for naught. And Matt Stafford and the LA Rams fall to the Atlanta Falcons 27-24. The Rams now 11-5. Matt Stafford, the MVP, on the line. It felt like if he went out in this game and just played pedestrian and got a victory, it was his award to have. But Matt Stafford, 22 of 38, 269. The key here, 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, and of course a pick 6 that really wound up shaking this game up. Kirk Cousins didn't have to do much, because Bijan Robinson looked like Barry Sanders, Derrick Henry, Jim Brown all in one in this one. 22 carries, 195, and a touchdown on the ground. That doesn't factor in what he did through the air as well. Well over 200 all-purpose yards for a guy that, trust me, I know from my perspective as a Bills fan, did the same exact thing to my Bills. And this guy is just a special player that can single-handedly win football games, and it kind of felt like that's what he did for Atlanta in this one. So, Jake, I go to you here. You're coming off that loss to Seattle. Just 10 days ago, 1 seed in sight, division in sight, Matt Stafford MVP in sight, and what feels like a blink of an eye here, all 3 of those things on the ropes. I mean, the other 2, of course, the 1 seed in the division no longer in play, but then the Stafford MVP element, I know not everybody cares about that, but it's something to talk about. So what do you make of everything happening here with your Rams over the last 10 days or so, including, of course, Monday night and the loss?
Yeah, I mean, it was frustrating. Wasn't really entertaining until Jared Verse, blocked that field goal, and then it really felt like, wow, this is a fun game. I never felt like the Rams were going to lose this game. I really always felt like they were going to win this one, and you just kind of hat tip the Falcons. I mean, I thought they had a great game plan. Chris Shula, the Rams, came out determined to shut down Kyle Pitts, who's just absolutely tormented the league the last 3 weeks, and Drake London was back, and I thought they did a great job neutralizing them, holding them to 3 catches for 20 yards total. I mean, the leading receiver was David Sills. I remember when Lane Kiffin was offering him a scholarship to be quarterback at USC years ago. But, that said, I just thought they did a really nice job in defending and limiting Kirk Cousins, that on top of that, that's when Bijan Robinson had to produce, and he was able to do that. I think that there were a lot of moving parts last night. I don't necessarily think it's an excuse, but I think one, Matthew Stafford not having his left tackle or his right guard, I think had something to do with it. Obviously they put up almost 600 yards on one of the best defenses in the league on a short week without Devontae Adams. So I'm not going to say Devontae Adams being out was the reason, but I actually think the real reason for the run game was the missing of Josh Wallace. I just think that the gap integrity was just shot. They don't have Quentin Lake. Josh Wallace had filled in nicely. No Josh Wallace. And so now all of a sudden you're putting Jalen McCullough in that position. He missed so many opportunities. I mean, they had those big runs that Bijan had. He was behind the line of scrimmage. They had a chance to bring him down. They have been sensational against the run. And as of late, they've really struggled. The first 10 games of the year, guys, they had 27 missed tackles. The last 3 games, they've had 31. So uncharacteristic football for the Rams. I'm actually not concerned at all, and I've already moved on from this game. It was frustrating in the moment. Rams fans still want that call on Tutu Atwell. I get it, but at the same time, I have a little bit of a different take on it. Tutu Atwell, if he catches that ball, the game's over. They're not going to be able to go down the field and spike it. They just didn't have enough time. I'm actually okay with it. I don't think the Rams played well enough to get that call anyway. It is a horrible play. I thought D. Alford was terrible last night. Honestly, one of the worst cornerback performances I've seen all year. But it is a penalty. But I am not going to excuse the Rams for just really not showing up, not being the ferocious, pissed off team that our entire panel was kind of predicting them to be. So say what you will. They had their chances. They made a feverish comeback. But at the same time, this game really won't matter in a few weeks. It's really going to be all about the playoffs. And I understand. I remember Jesse saying it last week. And, I've thought about it for a while. And I'm not saying he's wrong. But, he said the 49ers are getting hot at the right time. And, being hot going into the playoffs. Like, I forget exactly what he said. But I've been thinking about it. And I watched this Rams team the last 2 years be arguably the hottest team in football in 2023 and 2024 going into the playoffs. And it didn't amount to much. They didn't get past the divisional round either time. So they're basically what the Dallas Cowboys have done since 1995. That said, the years the Rams went to the Super Bowl in 2018 and 2021, I'll tell you what the Rams did. They had an entire month where they lost in November in 2021. They lost by 21 to the 49ers. They lost by 12 to the Titans, all in prime time, and they lost to the Packers, coming off a bye. Then they played their starters when everyone said that they should sit their starters. They played their starters to try to keep the 49ers out of the playoffs, and they lost in overtime. They then went on to win the Super Bowl. And in 2018, everyone was pushing the panic button because the Rams lost to the Bears 15-6 in primetime, and they lost to the Eagles. And that team went to the Super Bowl. So I don't think there is a certain path here where it's right or wrong. I think sometimes it makes sense to sit your starters. It makes sense to play your starters. I firmly believe in Sean McVay. If he thinks that they should play their starters in Week 18, I'm all for it. I'm really not concerned. I would just like to see them get this bad taste out of their mouth, finish off the right way against Arizona, and move on, because I still think the Rams are going to win the Super Bowl. And last night, with their left tackle out and their right guard out and Josh Wallace and Devontae Adams, that doesn't change anything to me. I think the Falcons have been playing inspiring football as of late, and were overlooked by the Rams. And I think they were overlooked by a lot of people, including myself. I thought the Rams were going to trounce them. But I give Atlanta a lot of credit. They've been playing well. And maybe if Kirk Cousins started the whole year, they'd be in the playoffs. And who knows? But that being said, not worried about this team. And I want to give credit where credit's due. I think the 49ers deserve a load of credit. Because I understand 49ers fans are going to say, well, Jake, you're talking about injuries and you told us not to talk about injuries. Here's the deal. I want to make it very clear. I think Sean McVay is the best coach in the National Football League. But one thing Sean McVay does is when there are injuries, unless it's Puka Nacua, where they went entirely 13 personnel and reinvented their offense, which was great. When there are injuries for the Rams, they kind of just go with the flow. They're like not trying to change anything about their game plan. They're like, yeah, Konate Mumfield can just fill in for Devontae Adams. He can't, right? Oh, Jalen McCullough can just fill in for Quentin Lake / Josh Wallace. He can't. See, I think Kyle Shanahan doesn't get enough credit because the reason why they continue to win despite all these injuries is because he and Robert Saleh have put together a game plan where they're willing to change things up, switch things up because guys are out where just because, yes, he's a body and you can put him into the position that the other guy was playing in. Like, let's be honest here. When Brock Purdy was not playing and it was Mac Jones, it was a different game plan. And now Purdy is playing extremely well and deserves a ton of credit. And that offense is operating in a different way. They're pushing the ball down the field more. This is what I'm talking about. I think that's something that we saw last night, that Sean McVay was calling plays like his left tackle wasn't out, like his right guard wasn't out, like Devontae Adams was in. And I think that caught up with them. I really do. But like I said, I'm not concerned about this team. I think they're going to be a problem in the playoffs.
There's certainly still the odds-on favor you'd imagine, or at least up there to win the Super Bowl. But I have to ask, Jake, the last 3 weeks as we head into January, allowing an average of 33 points per game here, losing 2 of the 3 the last 2 weeks, 171 yards allowed on the ground to the Seahawks, well over 200 in this game against the Falcons. We look at the losses for the Rams this year. You can almost look at this one, and Matt Stafford was due to have a bad game. It felt like he's been incredible all year long. It feels like the bulk share of these losses for the Rams have been because the defense has faltered in one way or another. These last 3 weeks, you do beat the Lions, of course, but 34 points allowed. Is there a concern on your end going into the postseason here, the way the defense is kind of played over the last month or so heading into single elimination football?
I think there's a genuine concern about the missed tackles. Like guys that like Nate Landman shouldn't be missing tackles the way he's missing. He has not played well since he signed his contract. So those are the things that are concerning. But like the pass rush, I thought looked a lot better last night. 14 out of the 21 dropbacks. Kirk Cousins was pressured. I like to see that. I thought Akello was outstanding on the outside, playing the boundary. It's funny, he wasn't good enough to play the last 2 weeks. And then Chris Shula was like, yeah, we're going to throw him in the boundary for 34 snaps. And he did a great job against Pitts and London. I thought he deserved a lot of credit. Emmanuel Forbes looked like he was back to where he was before he started struggling again. So, I mean, there are some things to take away. Cam Kinchins has given up 2 ill-advised touchdowns, just poor coverage the last 2 weeks. That is a concern. But I don't know. For me, I think getting Quentin Lake back is going to be so key and critical for this team. I think they're going to look like a different defense. I'm just telling you, I think Quentin Lake was so important. They were able to beat Seattle in that moment, in that game. But when push came to shove, I think the Panthers took advantage of no Quentin Lake. And then I think not having him against Seattle in Seattle also led to their comeback. Not making any excuse, the Rams should have won, but I do think that matters. The good news is I think the special teams is figured out. I think Ben Kotwicka should have been the special teams coordinator since day one. That was the best special teams performance they've had all year. And I feel good about that moving forward.
We move on from where we were treated to an absolute classic. 80 total points, nearly 1,000 total yards of offense, and one massive W for the San Francisco 49ers, who we talked about a couple weeks ago, and we said, hey, now I've been messing around with the playoff simulator, and I click this button, and I click that button, and I hit the refresh button, and somehow, some way, the Niners, they're in play for the 1 seed. That's a reality, folks. The San Francisco 49ers beat the Chicago Bears 42-38 to improve to 12-4 and set up what will be the game of the year Saturday night this upcoming weekend. We had it all in this game. Like I mentioned, nearly 1,000 total yards, 80 points. Brock Purdy mixing what I think was a Euro step in the crip walk. Was it? I don't even know, but he was grooving. He was moving. He was moving on the field as well through one of the best touchdown passes I think he's had in his entire career. On the other end, Caleb Williams, I was not expecting this resurgence, and Ben Johnson has gotten the most out of him this year and then some. Caleb Williams, 332 touchdowns, but it just wasn't enough to outmatch Brock Purdy, who was 24 of 33, 303 yards, 3 touchdowns. Christian McCaffrey, almost an underrated season, if you will. He's been on fire lately, 140 yards on the ground on 23 carries and a touchdown. And despite the lack of defense as of late, this San Francisco 49ers offense has been able to overcome. And here they are, Jesse. They're right where we all thought they'd be in the beginning of the year, playing for the 1 seed in the NFC West title when it's all said and done. What did you make of Brock Purdy and the San Francisco 49ers' ability to outlast the Bears team that was able to put 38 points up and still not be able to get it done?
Well, listen, you said Brock Purdy had 3 touchdowns, and he did passing, but he also had another 2 rushing. That's back-to-back weeks with at least 5 touchdowns. That's absolutely incredible. He's on a heater right now. And I think the most impressive thing was the first play of the game, he throws a pick 6. Trent Williams gets injured. He's played all season long. We're almost waiting for the shoe to drop on Trent Williams. He's missed at least 1 game every single season for the past 10 seasons, and this year he had not yet. Technically, he still hasn't yet, but he was out from play 1, and there was already no George Kittle, but Brock Purdy absolutely balled, carried the 49ers, him and CMC. I mean, it was basically a 2-player show, and it seemed like the team that was going to have the ball last would win. That happened to be the Bears, but they did not win. The 49ers were able to hold serve there at the very end, keep them out of the end zone. Time runs out, and it sets up exactly what I brought up, 3-4 weeks ago. I didn't necessarily think the number 1 seed would be on the line, but I did think that Week 18 would be a big game for the 49ers and the Seahawks, a game that both teams would certainly want. Well, they want it more than I ever thought because the number 1 seed is on the line. First place in the NFC West is on the line, and this is exactly what I wanted. This is what I said would happen, and I called my shot then. I said, you do not want Sam Darnold in this situation. He will fumble it, and, sneak peek, but I do believe that that's exactly what's going to happen. So I don't want to bury the lead. This has been 3-4 weeks in the making. We've got a hat bet on our way, 49ers Seahawks Saturday. And my bet is on Brock Purdy over Sam Darnold when it matters most. And Brock Purdy, the way that he's playing, I don't care how good that Seahawks defense is. I know on paper, the number 1 defense and all that, yada, yada, yada. Good luck. Good luck stopping him. Good luck stopping this offense. I can't wait for Saturday.
It's hard to blame you right now, Jesse. This team's averaging over 42 points per game over their last 3 games. And this one was even more impressive because George Kittle's been on fire since coming back from the injury. He's not in this game, and they didn't skip a beat. You would never have known if you tuned in and you didn't have George Kittle on your fantasy saying, man, I wish I did. I did. Lost the championship. Nobody cares. But he's not out there. One of the best tight ends in the league. Still 42 points. What do you attribute this to beyond Brock Purdy's play? Because this is an offense right now over the last month that's been the best in football.
Yeah, Kyle Shanahan's absolutely been in his bag. I mean, the short red zone, those run pass options that Brock Purdy has been a wrinkle that was added in the Cleveland game, kind of went on hiatus for a couple games, but it was brought right back in this one. It's a really hard play to stop. You've got Brock Purdy who's got that short area quickness. He's not going to be the fastest guy as far as long speed goes, but you give him a 5 to 10 yard area to run in, you see that quickness show up time in and time out. And so if you give him that opportunity, I mean, that's a wrinkle right there that the 49ers haven't had. CMC, for as great as he is not necessarily the best short yardage back in the NFL. When they get into the red zone, especially that short red zone, 5 yards and in, CMC often will get stopped. And so you add in that wrinkle of Brock Purdy. Now, all of a sudden, that makes CMC's game easier. It makes Brock Purdy's game easier as far as throwing as well. It's just a wrinkle that's been added. And then, not only that, he's not afraid to mix in a guy like Jake Tonjes or Sky Moore into the offense or Robinson. He's been mixing these guys in because he's had to mix these guys in. They've had the injuries. And Jake talked earlier about, Shanahan's really good at kind of changing game plans when guys go out. He is, if he knows going into the week that a guy is out, he's great at it. What he hasn't traditionally been good at is when a guy goes out mid-game or early in a game, he has trouble changing things on the fly. That was not the case here. He lost Trent Williams, and right away he had a game plan to counter that, get around that, and it worked flawlessly. The 49ers right now on offense, very, very, very good looking. Defense, however, not so great. So it behooves the 49ers to get into a shootout with Seattle. That's what we want. We want to drag him into deep waters, and we want to make Sam Darnold beat him with his arm. That's what the 49ers are probably going to be banking on. If this is not a shootout and it's a low-scoring game, Seattle's going to certainly have the upper hand because their defense is for real. It definitely is, and the 49ers defense is far from.
And I'm glad you brought that up. Lastly here, obviously, as well as the 49ers offense has been playing, the caveat there, the counterpoint is this defense has not been close to what the offense has been. We do know the injuries have been playing a large factor in that. Throughout the year, they've been able to overcome that more than I think many people would have predicted. Your concern level right now at the Niners' ability to win if you don't have 35-plus points from this offense going into the postseason.
Yeah, right now it'll be tough. And I'll tell you, postseason football usually doesn't, you're not going to get 35-point games. You're going to have to win in other ways. You know, luckily for the 49ers, they have an elite special teams as well. And, you know, they can take advantage of that. They can lean on that. They can play a little bit of the position game. So that's been very, very helpful. And it will continue to be helpful down the stretch. You know, it was great to win without Trent Williams and George Kittle, but they're certainly going to need both those guys back. George Kittle, I think, is a lock to play this upcoming week. Trent Williams, I think, is iffy. I would imagine he doesn't practice all week, and then he'll be a game-time decision. We'll see how it goes. I think the Saturday game hurts that, certainly. I think the one extra day would be nice to figure it out. If I had to make my guess right now, Trent Williams probably doesn't play. And that's going to be hard to overcome, but it's more important that he's there for the playoffs. That certainly is going to be needed. But listen, Trent Williams is a great player, but the 49ers have been without great players all year long. Brandon Ayuk was never a part of this team. Nick Bosa, Fred Warner, barely a part of this team. It just really hasn't mattered. The 49ers are gritty. Everybody who comes in and fills in for these players have found ways to contribute and help this team win. This week will be no different. These guys will be ready. There will be no excuses from an injury standpoint from me, and the better team's going to win. We'll see who that is.
You may have noticed that when we were recapping the Rams-Falcons game, there was a nice fancy graphic beneath your screen like there usually is every game. And when we talked about the Niners and the Bears game here, you'll have noticed it was just this generic one. You might be wondering, well, why is that? Well, because I go to click on it, and it's not there. You know what was there in place? Just to let you know that there's always one little subtle jab at your trusty host bot. This just so happened to find its way in place on the nice graphic that we had for the Niners game. So I just thought I'd throw out that real quick. We do have a graphic for the game we saw between the Seattle Seahawks and the Carolina Panthers this past weekend, which, of course, helped set up what will be the game of the year. I do not have a dog in this fight, and I got to tell you, I'm already counting down the hours till Saturday. I can't wait till we all weigh in on it later on in the show. But the Seahawks get it done against the Panthers this past weekend, who are no joke. They'll be playing for a division title in their own right this upcoming Saturday before that big showdown between the Seahawks and the 49ers. Seattle 27, Carolina 10. What more can you say about this Seattle D? It's as real as it gets in the league. It showed itself again against the Carolina Panthers. This game's 3-3 at half, and it really opened up, of course, in the second half, where the Seahawks would put 14 on the board in the third quarter and really run away with it. Sam Darnold, 18-27, 147, a touchdown and a pick. Zach Charbonnet continues to impress for this team. 18 carries, $110, 2 touchdowns. But the stat of the day here, Bryce Young, 14-24 for 54 yards and an interception. Nobody wants to sign up to play the Seattle defense in the postseason. Brandon, I want to start with talking about how impressive this defense was, but then I want to transition into talking about these Seahawks in the first half of games as of late. But let's start with the positives. Let's start with this defense, who just held a quarterback who we can all agree, maybe not the best in the league, but certainly pretty good. 54 yards. I got a feeling all of us, if we could throw a couple of screens out there to Rico Dowdle and company, maybe we have the similar stat line here. Seattle's defense, Brandon, it's just off the charts.
Off the charts good. You don't have a middle row defense that's put this kind of performance. And I think what they did is they understand this defense above being able to play those quarterbacks that are maybe a bit more longer in the tooth and capable of seeing everything across the board more clearly. When they get a rookie, when they get a second-year guy, Bryce still very young in his career, they're going to be able to really feast on the back of that. And I thought that they just went into this game, not only did they execute, but they really took away from Bryce what he wanted to do, which was take away the deep throws and then also take away those little outlet passes that he also wants to always throw out in the flat, where he wants to manipulate you down the field and then clear it out there to a quick throw out in the flat. And then it was all going to be on his improvisation at that point once you remove those two parameters. And they just kind of suffocated him. It was quick. It was fast. He didn't know what he was seeing. This is Mike McDonald's defense at its best, where you can feel like you have 13, 14 guys out there on defense in the way that they're playing it, because they'll take out multiple routes at once back in coverage, and they'll do so from a purposeful fashion. So just to dominate defense upward and down, Panthers really had no much chance. They had one touchdown drive that they kind of were able to carve out into the second half. But it was, again, as you said, on the offense, slow start a little bit, if I can touch on that. They did find their footing in the second half, but it was another start here that's been on recently where it takes them a bit of time to find their way. And as frustrating as that is, I think that that's also a lot of what they were early on in the year as well. The difference was that it was inversed. So it was all hot starts, slow finishes. Now it's slow starts, hot finishes. And so it is, while frustrating, and I would love to see it just be a hot start to hot finish, it also has been a characterization of this team really from the onset of this season. And as far as trying to find an explanation or not find an explanation, there's a lot of little details we could get into as to why it happens. But I think that the part of this that comes into this feast famine thing with this offense is that when it feasts at a really high level. It's a team with 4 30-point halves this season. Back-to-back weeks now, you put up 24 points in a single half. So yes, there is these times where it can seem like there's not a lot going on there, but you got the defense that can hold the line. And when the offense does step forward, it really does explode. On top of a couple other nice factors you see at play here being a little more consistency on early downs here in recent weeks. And the running game has really gotten up to snuff here on the back half of the schedule, which is something you're going to need come playoff time.
I'm really intrigued by this, Brandon, because if you've been watching my Buffalo Bills, it's the same thing. They are non-existent in the first half. They might be worse than the Raiders in the first half, but all of a sudden in the second half, it's a completely different team. But you'll watch against the Eagles. It cost them. You put up 0 points in 3 quarters. You wait till the fourth quarter, and it's just too little too late. This is 3 weeks in a row now where the Seahawks have either been losing at half or tied at half. They won all 3 games, though. Is there an element of concern that a slow start in the postseason gets to a point in the second half where they do turn it on like you're talking about, but they're just not able to overcome the slow start that kind of put them in a hole? Despite going off in the second half, it just wasn't enough. Is that a concern of yours right now?
Concerned to a degree, but I think like even in your comparison to the Bills there, I think you guys put up, what was it, 12 points? So there wasn't the boom that came that I'm talking about.
Appreciate it.
Huh? Well, I wasn't trying to, I was trying to, but I think that's the key to this, is that you've got to go and actually have a section of the game where you explode. You're right. If it's just, you just kind of like, drowning the whole game, and then you kind of throw a point up here and a point there, that's going to absolutely be a concern. And let's face it. I mean, just to be realistic here, when it comes to both, I would say this offense and this defense, the defense to a much lesser degree, because they've been so much more overall fully just dominant and consistent in that dominance throughout the course of the year. But when it does go bad for the defense, I might point to week 1 against the Niners, where they didn't necessarily put up a lot of points, but they moved the ball with a lot of success throughout that game. The Tampa Bay game, where they threw at will at you throughout the course of the game. The Rams game from last week, where they hung up 37 points on the board on you, including the touchdown at the end of Puka Nacua. So the offense is a bit more of an extreme version of this. It's a reality that we might see a playoff game where both sides decide to have one of those kind of days at the same time. It hasn't happened up yet this year. It's part of having the good teams. You can rely upon the other 2 phases when one phase ain't holding up that's line. But it's not, I would say, this tremendously great concern, because at the end of the day, you always got to keep the perspective about where this Hawk team is at, is that we're a year ahead of schedule here. Nobody expected us to be here. We're going to double the Vegas outlook in what they saw for the win total here. And this team's playing really good football overall. And how they get there to a score like 27-10, and whether it's pretty enough along the way, the bottom line is that you beat Panthers at home in a place that they're very tough to deal with by 17 points.
The Arizona Cardinals might have lost, but I think many people would argue that they won this past weekend, because if you look over at the ESPN projected 2026 draft order, the Cardinals currently with the 5th overall pick and an 81% chance to have at least a top 5 pick. And that was helped out by way of a beatdown against the Cincinnati Bengals this past weekend. 37 Cincy, 14 Arizona. Joe Burrow 305 on 31 attempts for 2 touchdowns. Chase Brown added 2 touchdowns to the mix as well. Jamar Chase caught both touchdown passes from Joe Burrow. Jacoby Brissett, as always, hovering around that 40 attempt mark. Only 14 points to show for it on his 212 yards and 2 touchdowns. Mike, what did you make of this one? Because it just kind of felt like Cincinnati. I was watching this one. I had Burrow in my fantasy championship that I lost. Nobody cares. And I'm watching it, and it just kind of felt like it was just too easy for Cincy's offense. Everything was just kind of coming as if Arizona really didn't have an answer, but not beyond that. It just felt like the effort level wasn't there. Is that kind of where we're at right now? What did you make of this one? Because it just kind of felt like it was too easy for Cincinnati here.
Yeah, and real quick, next week, can you put me in the front? I hate to follow these playoff teams talking about, January. I'm over here like talking about, you guys are subjected to 5 minutes of BS Cardinals talk. I'm sorry, guys. So next week, just put me in the front. Okay, let's start this here. Yes, it was easy. Plain and simple, Jamar Chase did whatever the hell he wanted against the Arizona Cardinals. Now, we have injuries galore. Like, if you look, it's just a receipt of freaking injuries. And I'm not going to blame that on the situation, but the Cincinnati Bengals came into this game at 5 wins, the Cardinals 3 wins, but there was a drastic difference between that team and the Arizona Cardinals. Like, Joe Burrow was basically every single drive doing whatever the hell he wanted. I believe there was like 2 3 and longs in that very first drive. It was like a 39 and a 3rd and 8 converted with ease. And it was just a very simple guy coming out of the backfield, maybe like a delay kind of drag route, boom, and first down. In the first quarter, the Cincinnati Bengals had the ball for like 13 minutes and 39 seconds. The Cardinals had it for less than 1 minute and 30 seconds. That's how bad this Arizona Cardinals team is right now. Now, I don't want to throw all the blame at Jacoby Brissett, because there's a lot of factors as to why the Cardinals are this bad. Now, when you're coming down to the studs of this roster, this is kind of what we all expected. Jacoby Brissett is a backup quarterback, but this right here was probably his worst performance all season long. Not just him, the whole team in general. Like, it was just bad. Like, I had to stop my life play by play to get my freaking post-game reaction midway through potentially the third quarter, or it was a little close, getting close to the fourth quarter, but I was like, all right, deuces. Like, the moment I saw Joe Flacco coming in here, I was like, all right, it was done. Like, we're cooked. So Michael Wilson just continues to, I guess, impress, to give us hope that he can potentially be that number 1 wide receiver, and Trey McBride. Like, those are really the only things that we can really talk about as Cardinal fans right now. Obviously, like, I want to give some credit to Jacoby Brissett. It's not his fault. Like, for what he's doing for the Cardinals, we appreciate it. But like, obviously, he's not the long-term solution. But I never said he was a long-term solution. I just thought that this offense run better with him than the other quarterback that the Cardinals had. Now, obviously, wins equate better, and that hasn't come to fruition. The Cardinals are on an 8-game losing streak, most likely going to go on a 9-game losing streak. But yeah, I mean, the Cardinals are who they are, unfortunately, and I don't really care about the season anymore, right? I've been mentioning it before. You've seen Emo Mike already, and we might bring that back in the end of the year. But yeah, I mean, it's done. Our season technically starts in less than a week from now. That's what I'm looking forward to. March and April, that's my time to shine, because this 2025 season is brutal. But yeah, Joe Burrow did whatever the hell he wanted against this Cardinals team.
March and April will be here soon enough, but not before an epic Week 18. We'll get to that in just a second. Before we do, a shout out to my friends over at RotoWire. We've been talking about them all year. They have a ton of awesome premium tools, including their NFL odds tool, where you can evaluate all of the betting lines across all the major sports books for all the NFL games each and every week, including that massive showdown on Saturday night between the Seahawks and the 49ers. Right now, you can get the best line for the Hawks over on FanDuel. You can get the best line for the Niners over on DraftKings. You can evaluate that game and all the games in Week 18 using the RotoWire Premium NFL Odds tool. One of the many awesome features of a RotoWire Premium subscription. Link in the description below. Click that, sign up for a premium RotoWire subscription. Once you do, use the promo code RTS, and you will get 15% off that premium subscription. And if you haven't heard, Saturday night, folks, It's a big one. I cannot wait. I can only imagine how Brando and Jesse are currently feeling. It's already massive. Make it even a little more massive by getting in on the action with Sleeper. Here's my slip. George Kittle back. More than 5.5 receptions for Kittle. My free pick, Brock Purdy, more than a half pass yard. And Jesse's favorite quarterback, Sam Darnold, I got him going more than 239.5 against this Niners D. That's my slip. If you want to create your own, do so via the link in the description below. Click it and sign up for a Sleeper account. And once you do, you will immediately get a free $20 entry. You can use that on this game, any of the games in Week 18, NBA, NHL, you name it. It's all on Sleeper. And once you use your free $20 entry, use the promo code on your screen, RTS, and that will get you a 100% match up to $100 on your first deposit. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper terms of use for details. Currently available in over 25 states. Check out Sleeper via the link in the description below as we turn the page to the final week of the 2025 NFL season. We were hoping it would come down to this, and it is exactly what it has come down to. The NFC West title on the line. The 1 seed on the line. And as I said, the most important of all, a hat bet on the line. But we'll talk about that game in just a sec. Let's go to the more important game of the weekend. Let's talk about Cardinals-Rams on Sunday, 4:25 p.m. Eastern, Arizona on the road, taking on L.A. Not entirely sure what L.A.'s plan is here, playing their starters or not. We know in the past McVay has rested his starters. There is still some seeding jockeying here, but we'll see what ends up coming to pass. Either way, Jesse, what do you make of this one between the Cardinals and the Rams to round out 2025?
I mean, are the Rams even going to play their starters? There's not really a point to do so, right? I mean, I guess it depends on what happens with the 49ers and the Seahawks, the difference between a 5th seed and a 6th seed, but you still don't know if you're playing the Bears or the Eagles. I don't know. Do you any insight on that, Jake? Because that does matter, I guess, in this prediction.
Yes. So McVay said right after this game, albeit he was pissed, he said, we're going to play next week and we got to play better. So he wants to play starters. I don't know if he's going to go the distance. I think it's easy to say that before Saturday. If the 49ers lose, then they're not playing. Well, they are playing for something. If the 49ers win, they're not playing for anything. So I don't know. I would play the starters personally. That's what I would do.
I agree.
They're not going to be playing for anything is what you're saying, because the 49ers are going to win on Saturday. So, okay. So with that being said, they're going to rest their starters for the most part. They might play them for a quarter. I know he wants to get Quentin Lake out there. He said that, worst case scenario, he'll be back for the playoffs. You know what? I'm going to go with the Cardinals to win this one.
Let's go.
It's going to hurt. It's going to hurt their pick. The Rams aren't going to have anything to play for. I'll go Cardinals 27-24.
Playing both sides of the coin here. Got the Cardinals dropping down the draft board. Brando, what do you make of this massive showdown in Week 18, Cardinals-Rams?
Well, since the Seattle Seahawks are going to win on Saturday, this is going to make this a little bit more important matchup for them. With that said, I already know last year, and having played the Rams the last game of the year, when there isn't really much at stake in the playoff positioning is kind of where it is, he's going to rest his guys. You might play him, as Jake said, for I think probably a half, but that's about what you're going to see. And then you're going to see more of them trickling out the door there as this goes along, kind of, I think, almost regardless a little bit. But I still do think that where the Cardinals are at right now, you could just feel them kind of really more and more through this end of season checking out. I got to give Rams the nod on this. Even if you have a Garoppolo out there, he can make this offense function. So I'll give them the nod at 27-21.
Jake? Starters, no starters. What do you make of this one final divisional matchup to round out the regular season?
I think they're going to play their starters. I think it's a little different than years past. Even if they don't, I still think they win. But playing their starters, I think they win 31-14. Let's remind everybody, if they don't play their starters and it's Jimmy Garoppolo, Brandon knows that game came down to the goal line. So he is a capable quarterback in this league. I believe he can start in this league. I'm not saying he's a top-tier starter, but he can beat a 3-win Cardinals team. I'm sorry, Mike.
Mike, you might not need an apology from Jake here. It might be the best thing for you.
Backup.
No,
what do you? Who could forget? You kidding me? Jimmy G. Mike, you might actually be in better shape here.
I mean, I know people were asking, like, I mean, nobody was asking if my starters are playing. Like, come on, I'm just kidding. No, I mean, here's the thing. It doesn't matter if they're playing their starters or not. Like, I think that they will start them, but I think they'll pull them in half because I think it's going to be so bad by the time we get to the half that it's going to be, nothing's going to happen. Like, let's be real. Like, the Rams are going to need to win this game. And I kind of do believe in the mindset of just start. I mean, he's not happy. I mean, obviously, he let another game slip away, and I'm talking about the Atlanta Falcons game. Play him. Beat the Cardinals. Beat the living hell out of them. Please give me another reason to get rid of Jonathan Gannon. Absolutely. Beat the snot out of us. I think the Rams are going to beat us regardless if it's Jimmy G or Stafford out there. I don't think it matters. I think it's going to be, throw another 40 burger on us. 41-13 Rams.
So, Mike, are you rooting for the Rams this week?
I'm rooting for change. So you're just there.
Okay, well, you'll be rooting for Kyron, right? Isn't he? Oh no, playoffs
the way that
are over.
Kyron's been used this whole time, he just kind of effed me through my whole playoffs. So like, I'm not even Rams anymore. Like
okay.
I'm anti-Rams again. I'm back.
Oh, that's a bummer. I enjoyed having you on the bandwagon.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, it was fun.
I just envisioned Barack Obama's campaign poster that said "change" in the red, white,
I know.
and blue.
We are change. Mike's over there. Just we are change. What do you want, Mike? Do you want a new quarterback? We are change. You need a new coach? We are change.
Oh my!
The problem with the scheme? We are change.
That's all it is, man. Just change. Give me some change.
Really be like that.
Allow me to set the stage for you folks all the way back in the beginning of the 2025 season to kick off what was an incredible season. It started with the San Francisco 49ers taking on the Seattle Seahawks in week 1. That time around, it was in Seattle, and it was a low-scoring battle, and the San Francisco 49ers took it 17-13. You could call it an NFC West sandwich. It starts with those two teams. It ends with these two teams. Seattle, San Francisco, Saturday night. It's in Santa Clara. And if the San Francisco 49ers win, the postseason will remain in Santa Clara all the way up until the Super Bowl. If the Seattle Seahawks win, the postseason goes through the 12s, where Seattle hopes to win the right to go back to Santa Clara to play for a Super Bowl. The NFC West title on the line, the 1 seed on the line, the hat bet on the line, folks. It's the game of the year in the NFL. It's the Seahawks. It's the Niners. Jake, I'll start with you. What do you make of what should be an epic showdown on Saturday night?
Man, this is going to be a good one. I think right now you have one of the best defenses in football against one of the defenses in football. You have one of the best offenses in football against a pretty decent offense. I don't know how the 49ers are doing it. I mean, Brock Purdy was throwing to nobody. I mean, Jake Tonjes, Sky Moore. I mean, come on. Like, nobody. But it's so tough to me. I keep going back and forth. I'm going to take Seattle in this game. And the reason behind that is because I actually really want to take the 49ers because I want to be right. I'm not a 49er fan. Don't get it twisted. But there's something about the loss earlier in the year in that fashion. I just feel like Seattle's been waiting for this. I don't know who scheduled this. I mean, this is one of the worst schedules I've ever seen in my life. They played week 1 and then they played week 18. Like, dumb. But that was a different Seahawks team. They have really grown since then. That was a different Brock Purdy. I was giving him all sorts of flack, and now I'm not going to lie. He's the second most trusted quarterback in the NFC for me going into the playoffs behind Stafford. I think he's going to play well, but I think Seattle's just going to get one stop, and I think they have the best kicker in football, and I think he's going to drill the game winner 30-27. I think Seattle takes the number 1 seed, and I think the 49ers beat the crap out of the Philadelphia Eagles in the first round.
Jake has the game of the year looking like it's going to live up to the hype. Mike, Hawks, Niners, who takes it Saturday night?
This is going to be a good game, man. I'm really excited about this game. Gives me something to watch here on Saturday. So super excited about this one. I know I kind of go back and forth with this. Honestly, I like to lean on defense, and I think the Seattle Seahawks, I'm just kidding. The 49ers are going to take this. Jesse, the Purdy mites were right, ladies and gentlemen. I trust Brock Purdy a hell of a lot more than I trust Sam Darnold. I'm sorry, Brandon. I know you're going to give me a whole bunch of spiel on how I should trust Sam Darnold. I don't. I got Brock Purdy in this game. I'm going to say 31-17. 49ers win this game, and guess what? Jesse was right. They might win the damn division. Sheesh.
Wow. Here we go. Jesse, I'll start with you. You got the victory back in week 1. Do you get the victory in week 18? The team here in San Francisco that, ironically enough, or maybe that's not the right word, but shockingly enough, no one's been talking about in the capacity in which they should until right now. I feel like everybody's coming to the realization this team has the ability to win this division, the best division in football, and the 1 seed. Do they do so at home on Saturday night?
That's right, baby. It's time. Listen, I had to listen a few weeks ago when the Rams played the Seahawks about how this is for the division, the 2 best teams in football. Here we go. Well, guess what? The 49ers were waiting in the weeds for this exact spot at home against Seattle. We saw this before, folks, 2019, if you remember. Very similar situation. It was my 49ers and a rookie Dre Greenlaw with a huge play down the stretch. I believe this game is going to be every bit as fun, every bit as close. Mike, don't feel bad about fading Sam Darnold. I got a stat for you. 7 games versus current playoff teams. Sam Darnold has a meager 8 touchdown passes to 10 interceptions. That's the Sam Darnold you're getting against teams that matter. And he is who we thought he was, and we're not going to let him off the hook. 49ers win this one 31-30 in an all-time classic, and Seattle loses in round 1. Can't wait for it.
Whew.
Brando, I remember that Sam Darnold, that same Sam Darnold Jesse just referenced going up against an LA Rams team a couple of weeks ago that made this game possible. And we thought he wasn't going to beat the big game allegations, and after a Shaheed punt return, he wound up beating those allegations. Does he do it again? Same spot he was in last year with a different team. A title on the line, 1 seed on the line. Sam Darnold and your Hawks have the ability to take the NFC postseason through Seattle. Do they do it on Saturday night?
You're absolutely positively right that they do so. And everybody has been selling on Sam since day one, including many on this panel. And as you can hear so, continue on so today. He sits now with 13 wins helping to guide this team there. You got a great defense. You got a great special teams. And all these guys, a little bit of their dissertations and caught up on so much on Sam, it's about the team. Who's got the best team? We talk about one player you can pluck out of, and Sam's not been the part of the problem here. Not that there's been too many problems as you're about to go play for the number 1 seed. This team is a lot different than the one that they played in week 1. You got Nicky Manwari out there. You've got a full tilt defenses health-wise. And really, as much as anything, this is just going to come down to this team playing at its best football, at its healthiest, versus a 49er team that's walking into this limping, to say the least. They lost Fred Warner in that football game in the first game, and that was the time that we scored a touchdown in that game. Last year, they lost Bosa. That's part of why we're able to help beat them on the road. I'm not saying I wouldn't like to see them at the full height of their powers. That would have been great, but that is not the 49er team that you're going to be facing this upcoming week. And for Jesse's, all of his bravado towards what this offense is going to do and that this defense isn't going to somehow matter, we'll see this upcoming week. It's going to be a lot different defense than the style of one that Brock Purdy's been able to feast upon recently. Not the same kind of thing that he's going to be walking into now. A defense and a team that's playing at their best football at the end of the season. I think that's going to matter this week. I got the Seahawks not even making this a close game. 31-17 victory formation. Oh, no, in fact, not just victory formation. It's the best formation in all of football, which is the victory formation with Drew Lock. Because Sam's going to be over there having a cup of coffee on the sideline. Asking when we going to get the beers later. Who's getting the beers later?
Damn.
I do have an actual football question for you, Brandon. I saw that Rashid Shaheed got hurt. I don't know. I didn't see the follow-up. Did he come back? Is he going to play? Because your special teams is the number 1 special teams in the NFL. I think that matters. We got the number 1 versus number 2 special teams. But if Shaheed is out, he's a big part of that. So what's going on with him?
Yes, he's in concussion protocol, like your Upston Stout. So kind of, I'd pose the same question to you, and we'd probably both be in the same place of not sure. It's a shortened week for you guys a little bit, but it's just even on a 1 week now, they seem to be more and more conservative with this protocol stuff. So that does factor in. It is a little bit with the special teams, though, to where it's the the full meal deal of the unit that you get. I'm not trying to overstate it, but it is the fact that you've got a top end field goal kicker. You got a great punter. You got a unit that how they defend punts and kicks has also been at a really high level. So it's also that totality of it. But you're right. With Sheed back there, he makes you more dangerous. I'm not going to undersell that, especially when you don't have Horton necessarily as a fallback.
Ooh, could the 49ers get a Kyle Williams moment from the Seattle Seahawks, and that might be the difference? I mean, talk about a great way to end it. I don't know. We'll see.
It's going to take prayers like that for you guys to win. I'll tell you that much.
All right. We're about to find out.
Oh, we are indeed. I absolutely cannot wait for Saturday night. And I also can't wait to dive into these super chats. 50 minutes in the books. It's time for the best part of the show. Brando, if you'd cue me in, it is super chat time.
Thanks.
Couple of milestones to share before we dive into the super chats. Once again, very Merry Christmas and a happy holiday to you. We can't appreciate you guys enough. You're the absolute best. We just surpassed 1 million total views on the NFC West Roundtable YouTube channel. An unbelievable accomplishment, and it's all thanks to you. We also just became the most subscribed Roundtable channel outside of the OG AFC East channel in the entire network. That's all thanks to you. And we are also about to touch down on 1,500 concurrent live viewers as we stand right now. You guys are the absolute best. We have 58 super chats and counting ready to dive in. We kick it off with Randy McDaniel. Sam and Brock Pooty have nearly the same turnover rate. Well, we'll see who ends up winning the turnover battle on Saturday. Could be a big swing there.
It's a good point there, Randall. We got the through 2 in our first game.
I mean, one guy has proven it in big games and one guy hasn't. So I like my chances.
We'll see which one. I want to see a dance from either one of them. Yeah. I mean, because Purdy really raised the bar there with the dance moves he was putting out there. I don't know if Darnold's got that in his bag. I guess we'll find out Saturday night. Taylor coming in. Mike's huge nuts. Niners soft chins, T-4 days. Shout out Seattle. Shout out to you, Taylor. We appreciate you. Randy back in the building. Pooty Case Keenum without Shanahan. I remember Case Keenum getting to an NFC championship game, if I'm not mistaken. Diggs, sideline, touchdown, unbelievable. Probably not the right day to bring up the Diggs family. We'll go back to Randy here with another one. Niner D-line couldn't plug a San Fran glory hole. Wow, Randy's got the jokes tonight, folks. He's rolling. He's on fire. He'll be here all night.
Get him.
By the way, what have I been saying? I've been saying Jonah. It's John Naylor. We officially solidified this last week. So shout out to you, Jonah. Just kidding. It's John Naylor. Jake, love your rookie tight end, Ferguson. The tight ends have been stepping up for these Rams, Jake.
Oh, Ferguson needs 10 targets. He's the best tight end that I've seen the Rams ever have. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm already convinced he's going to be the greatest tight end in Rams history. And I know that sounds hyperbolic, and I don't really care. When you look at just everything he's done in the short amount of time, he's the most athletic I've seen, best natural hands catcher, can make plays after contact, after the catch. He's blocking his ass off. I don't know why they're babying him. Like Colby Parkinson's dropping passes again. Davis Allen dropped 3 against Seattle. Just let the kid cook. That's all I can ask against Arizona. If you're going to play the starters, get Stafford on the same page with with Ferguson, because Ferguson has been sensational in the limited opportunities he has gotten.
John Chisari stopping by saying, Jake, I think the Rams' mindset changed when they knew they couldn't get the 1 seed. Jake, good on you for not blaming the refs. Do you think Mac Jones is better than Brock Purdy? 10 touchdowns in 2 games. What does my man Brock got to do? What does he got to do?
Well, I don't know if you guys saw my tweets, but credit's due. I thought Brock looked insane against the Bears. That was a really impressive performance. And keep in mind, I was one of the OG supporters of Brock Purdy, saying he's not just a guy. Like, this dude's legit. And then I saw him turn the ball over like crazy. Okay. And I saw the ill-advised throws. And I know Jesse saw that too. Okay. So we were one and the same in that. What Brock has done lately, see, I'm not a big believer in, he did that before, so he deserves credit right now. if we're doing that, then I'd still be, clamoring for Kyler Murray because he's made some incredible plays in the past. It's the here and now. What have you done for me lately? And Brock Purdy, right now, because of the way he's played, the body of work that I've seen, he's absolutely better than Mac Jones. And it's like I said, when it comes to the NFC, there's not a quarterback I trust more outside of Matthew Stafford than Brock Purdy in the NFC playoffs. I really feel that way. And on the AFC side, it's Josh Allen, but I won't get there, but I think the Jags are going to knock them out in the first round. So, yeah, those are my thoughts.
I share similar thoughts. And speaking of those Buffalo Bills, Cheeto says, sorry for your loss, Z-Bot. But because Cook laid an egg, I won fantasy. Hey, at least somebody's benefiting from it, Cheeto. Congrats to you. The Bills lost. I lost the fantasy chip. Nobody cares. But glad you got yours, Cheeto. Thanks for stopping by. As always, VBX. Darnold has a chance to make $2 million in incentives Saturday. Watch out for your fave quarterback, Jesse. Vintage Darnold performance incoming. I got a feeling, Jesse, you might say a vintage Darnold performance could be what you're hoping it could be.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I was like, so he's going to perform exactly how I think he is? That's great.
Oh, man, it is the best YouTube username on the internet. It's Bronze Sausage. Everyone's beatable. I truly believe that the best D and healthiest team wins it all. Niners need a pass rush, and the Hawks need to start hot. I got 27-20 Hawks. Could go either way. Go Hawks. Love y'all. We love you, Bronze Sausage. Appreciate you as always, my friend. Mom goes grocery shopping. Jake would bear McVay's kids if he could. Holy glaze. Well, I mean, God, he is only one of the best minds the sports scene. I mean, I think he's an all right coach, right, Jake?
Did I misspeak or did I thought I said that Kyle Shanahan does a better job of, like, just in general, I gave him more credit than McVay in that. I don't know where the glaze came from. By the way, Kyle Shanahan's my coach of the year, and I can't stand him. I think he's the most annoying coach, and I don't like the things I've heard about him. But hey, I call it like I see it. I get called a biased homer all the time, but there you have it, 49er fans. I have Kyle Shanahan winning coach of the year. How about
you
that?
must think he's very annoying if you think he's more annoying than Nick Sirianni. I got to give you
credit.
There.
Okay, all right. Nick Sirianni.
You see A.J. Brown roll his eyes at Sirianni walking out of the Bills locker room?
What are we talking about here? Like, dude, why is he screaming?
I don't know.
There's a level of class that you can see, like, some coaches in this league just don't have.
And you can't buy it and you can't teach it. You either have it or you don't. And it blows my mind when you're at the highest level of a profession and you still lack it. It kills me.
He looks like they grabbed him out of a Philly bar. That's what does he not? I mean, just like the way he talks,
the bouncer carrying him out, right? That's what it looks like.
Yeah, they're like, they carried him out, the bouncer kicked him off, and then put him on an NFL sideline. That's what, I mean, I don't want to take away credit. He won a Super Bowl. I don't really know what he does to this day, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm not salty or anything. DVN. Hey, Jake, bro, y'all suck right now. No need for the long talk. Join Mike in the corner. Let the real teams talk.
Damn.
They play Saturday, man. Oh,
DVN,
let him know.
You're gonna eat that. I'm telling you. And trust me, like, with all the stuff that I've heard since the Seattle game, if the Rams do what I expect them to do, I'm going to be the most insufferable motherfucker you have ever heard. So expect that.
DVN's also talking like there isn't a path for the Rams to play the Panthers, and I just can't imagine they lose to that team twice.
Well, I mean, based on our predictions, I have the Rams playing the Panthers. Oh, my bad, because I would have to also pick the Falcons to win, which I do believe they'll win. Poor Bucks. They're playing on Saturday, and they still have to wait for Sunday. But no, I think the Rams will play the Panthers. I think the 49ers will mollywop the Eagles. I think Brock Purdy, there was a lot of animosity towards the Eagles. I mean, they injured Brock Purdy. They didn't have another quarterback. Like, give the Eagles credit for winning, but I don't think 49ers fans ever got over that. I think there's going to be some revenge there. I think the Bears will beat the Packers, and then I think we're going to get a rematch of Week 18 Seahawks 49ers in the divisional round. And I don't know if I would want that if I'm a Seahawks fan, having to play a team that you just played. I almost feel like that benefits the 49ers, but that's just me. I don't know.
Don't tease me with a good time. All right. Ruiz saying, keep talking down. See y'all in the playoffs. We'll see you there, Ruiz. Xavier's coming in. Playing the Rams in the playoffs is scary for any team, and I think anybody would agree with that. Yeah. No, exactly. By the way, there could be that rematch with Philly that I think everybody would also love to see too. That's what
I see it in the comment section. Oh, you don't want to play Philly, dude. I don't give a shit. They're gonna beat Philly. Jalen Hurts didn't even throw a pass, and that's. I'm sorry, Z, but I'm not.
He threw 8, Jake, and they all hit the turf, and the Bills still lost. So
my bad. He didn't complete a pass, but yeah, I'm sure you loved seeing all of those NFL and different Twitter accounts having Jalen Hurts doing the freaking dive, the Bills Mafia dive through a table like he did anything in the second half.
Good for him, man. The PR is just off
It's
the
crazy.
chart.
He's got the best PR team in the world.
We're Rams crowned too early. The defense has been fairly mid of late. We talked about that a little bit ago, but Jake, I think you're confident in their ability to turn it around come January.
Yeah. But they were crowned too early. If we're talking about NFC West, because they literally cannot win the NFC West. So I think based on that, yes. Super Bowl, no. I don't think anybody's crowned too early because I don't think anybody is saying right now, like, the Super Bowl is being played right now. Like, I think they're going to win the Super Bowl, but I think the journey is what's going to mold them into the Super Bowl team. I think they are going to get past this, and it sucks, but so did it. It sucked when they didn't win in November, and I had to watch the 49ers win 31-10 in front of the world. I was not happy about that, but they ended up winning it all. They got the last laugh, and I think they're going to do it again.
Keith and Bernie, the unbeaten. Last thing is Niner fans want to hear is Rams need Quentin Lake to beat the Panthers. As a Niner fan, I don't want to hear shite about injuries. Well said, Keith.
I mean, it's fair.
James, hey, Jake, Bears 23, 49ers 17. Ha, 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 ha.
I don't know what's so funny. The game was close.
Ripping it to Jake right now.
John, back in. Brock Purdy needs his respect. Top 10 QB. I think that might be the first super chat we've ever gotten giving love to Brock Purdy. We have gotten 10,000 doing the opposite. And I have yet to see a Lyle chat in like 2 months.
Say, where's the Lyle?
Where's he been?
I mean, that's how you know the Niners are cooking. I mean, I swear I have not seen one in months. It's pretty incredible. Yeah. Big Dewey just became a YouTube member, became a member of the channel. Shout out to you, Big Dewey. Thanks so much for joining the boys. Dylan stopping by. The only weakness to the Hawks is themselves. Leading the league in turnovers is good, but imagine if they cut down those turnovers. I think they steamroll every team. 3 losses with a total of 9 points. The Seahawks do feel like when they're clicking, they are the most well-rounded team. It just feels like there's all of these teams right now. We've talked about this. Everyone's got that one thing that you think could do them in, but they also got that one thing that could propel them forward. So we'll see if it's the turnovers, but if they can eradicate that, like you're saying, Dylan, I mean, I think we can all agree they're one of the best teams remaining. Cheeto dropping a crimson.
Awesome.
Crimson chat to help us get prepared for Indiana, Alabama in the college football playoffs this upcoming weekend. Cheeto saying, my final donation of the year. And as an active duty member, because I appreciate you all, and while I don't like any of your teams, I do like all of you. Also, a little bit to find that epic Niner hat for Brando to wear. Bang, bang, baby. Cheeto, thank you, brother. Seriously, thank you so much. Appreciate you dropping
100%.
Appreciate
a bomb on the boys. Thank you
Don't
so
worry,
much.
Cheeto. I got something special lined up for him. He doesn't get away with just wearing that same old hat. Trust me.
God, there's part of me that wants to
true
just
on my end.
I want to skip the game and just come out here raw and just see who's wearing it. But there's just no way I can do it. But man, that would be nice. Feed me more. Jesse, I appreciate you putting a hat on. Thought my eyes would have to bleed again. Jeez. Big thanks. Do you forgive Brock Purdy for not showing up to your OnlyFans meet and greet? It's been a while. Wow. That was a loaded one.
I like how he spelled meat too. That's good.
Yeah.
He's forgiven for sure.
Feed me more is feeding on a silver platter. Some disses. At first, I thought he was talking about the hat bet, and then I forgot. For some reason, people do not like Jesse's head of hair, and it blows my mind. I don't get it. People don't appreciate a solid head of hair these days. They don't appreciate a solid head of hair, and they don't appreciate a solid, stout lower body, fellas. We've come to that conclusion on this show, have we not? Brando, please have Christopher Walken. Bless our sweet boy, Shaheed. Don't let CTE make him violent. He is too kind, soft-spoken, and legit humble. I love him.
Bran, I was so scared. Mike Jackson, the corner, threw him down. He. I said, why you do that to him? Why Mike him so dirty? He gets up. He's shaky. But now, they've unleashed the most dangerous version of Shaheed. That's the point.
God, I wonder what a Christopher Walken recap of a title and a 1 seed would sound like. I mean, not that I'm rooting for it. I'm just wondering. And maybe, Jesse, if you win, maybe you got to do the Christopher Walken impression. I don't know. Maybe
Jesse will have to. It'll be the best ever.
I'll have to talk about
him in the hat.
No danger of that
just
being any good.
dunking over and over. All your big talk.
B chiefin'. Seattle runs the table and faces Jacksonville in the Super Bowl. You know what?
Ooh, baby.
Would stun me zero.
I'm picking up what you're putting down, Master.
Would stun me zero. John Chisari. Not a prediction, a spoiler. Darnold would choke. We just found Jesse's burner. We appreciate you, John.
I think it speaks to how complete this team is that seems to be the only route anybody sees to the Seattle team losing. Like nobody's pointed to anything else, including the chat on this, onto just any possibility of losing. It's all just that. It seems to like if long as he comes through on that, it kind of goes without saying that the rest of the thing will be cooking up.
I haven't thought about that, but I'm pretty sure you're 100% right. I don't think anyone has said a bad thing about Seattle all year long other than just eviscerating Sam Darnold. Propa, do you guys think Eli should be in the Hall of Fame? Yes.
Mm-hmm. No. F no. Not even no. F no.
I have no issue with it.
It's the Hall of Fame, not the Hall of Good.
They already
got
did
hot
that
on a couple of plays.
Well, they already did that with guys like John Lynch. I think he was a great player, but I don't think he's a Hall of Famer. I think they've done that, and I think they're going to do it with Marshawn Lynch. I don't think I know it sounds like I'm going in on all the Lynches, but I don't think Marshawn Lynch is a Hall of Famer. I think Steven Jackson was a better running back, but he wasn't on the team that Marshawn Lynch was on, and he's not anywhere near as marketable. I think Matt Ryan will be in the Hall of Fame. Because
there's a lot to unpack there, Jakey. There's a lot to unpack that you just said there. So Marshawn Lynch is this generation's Earl Campbell. Earl Campbell's in the Hall of Fame. And Earl Campbell deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, not only for how great they are, but for the impact they have on the game, which is also a part of being in the Hall of Fame too. I don't think anybody looks at Eli Manning and like, what about the impact he left on the game? I don't think anybody looks at Steven Jackson and go, what the impact? They still to this day talk about going beast mode because of how much he was the defining aspect on that offense, the heartpeat of that team. Not just a good running back.
He just played on a lesser team. So,
Well, wait a minute, Brandon, to your point, I mean, you can't talk about the history of the NFL without bringing up what would be probably the two greatest Super Bowl runs of all time. If we're talking about that specific.
Right.
So how is
Eli Manning not a Hall of Famer then?
Because going on a run in a couple of select times in your career and overall having a little bit better than average performance as a quarterback for your era is not enough to get in.
Okay, so Broadway Joe is a Hall of Famer? He's the most pedestrian
I think that there's plenty of other players we could go at in the Hall of Fame that I would say do not deserve to be in there. So yeah, I don't think that Joe deserves to be in there either.
I don't think
there's any coincidence that this is also two guys out of New York that we're talking about here too.
What do you mean?
These were two quarterbacks that were playing in Arizona. I don't think that they would be even in the discussion.
Mike, you
right?
didn't deserve
That's ridiculous.
That. Oh my God.
Am I wrong? Are there lies told, Mike? Are there lies told?
Are there
lies told?
I don't think
Eli's a Hall of Famer. He's absolutely a Hall of Famer.
He's got 2 Super Bowls. I mean, I don't see the issue with it. As long as Larry's in there. Put Larry in there. Okay. And
Larry, Larry
Fitzgerald.
Yeah, Larry deserves to be in there all day. That's 100%.
Yeah, Larry's a Hall of Famer.
Real quick, the debate is, should he be in, not will he get in. He will get in. He shouldn't be in. I agree with Brandon.
I think he should be in.
I was shocked he wasn't a first ballot, to be 100%
I think he should.
Kurt Warner wasn't a first ballot. They just didn't want to put him in with Orlando Pace and Marshall Faulk and wanted to make him wait, just like they're making Torrey Holt wait. Ridiculous.
Kurt Warner to me is a no-brainer. I mean, in comparison speaking. So it's like, that's to me first, but that's like not even hard on that one. But Eli to me is on the other end of it. It's like, this ain't that hard. You look at him and basically when you especially look at him historically speaking, after their 10 years or more quarterbacks retire and where he's at statistically, it's going to look even worse 10 years down the line if you put him in.
Propa,
I don't
look
know.
what you've done. Look what you've done. We got a title on the line this week, and we're talking about Eli Manning's Hall of Fame bid. That is a solid job by you, my friend. James saying, Jake, I'm thinking he's speaking for you here, saying, Jake, quote, "We will run them into the ground. Falcons 27, Rams 24. Go Niners." James, man, you didn't have to do him like that. The body's still warm.
I mean, the Niners are having their fun, and obviously Brock Purdy's the wild card, but I like I said, I got to go to Santa Clara for the first time ever, and I watched the Rams kick the shit out of you guys. So I don't care. I do not care. I don't care one way. Plus, I still think this team's going to win it all. And I think if they play the 49ers, I think they're going to win. And if they play Seattle, I think they're going to win. I mean, the problem is I think there's a lot of teams, like everyone's, digging in on the Rams and having their fun, and I get that. Like, they've shown some weaknesses, but we're going to act like the Eagles have an offense. We're going to act like the 49ers have a pass rush. We're going to act like Sam Darnold is going to go and win the Super Bowl. I mean, I think it's possible, but like Darnold lately, Brandon, I was on your team. Lately, Sam Darnold has been turning over the ball like crazy. And I do believe Seattle deserves credit for getting over that hump, but you can't keep that going. And if he has another one of those games, I think the 49ers are going to be too much to go over the top. I don't think he's going to have that game against the 49ers. That's why I picked him to win. But like lately, I mean, this thing is wide open. Like, everyone's already like digging the Rams' grave. I mean, the only teams I'll tell you absolutely without a shadow of a doubt will not win the Super Bowl. The Steelers won't win. The Ravens won't win. I don't care who wins that game. They shouldn't be on Sunday Night Football. I don't know why they're playing over the Seahawks and 49ers. AFC bias, maybe to Brandon's point, the East Coast bias. None of them will win. The Chargers won't win. They don't have tackles, right? The Packers won't win. They don't have Micah Parsons or Tucker Kraft. Carolina won't win. I don't think Tampa Bay can win. I mean, that's really it. Everyone else, I think, has a shot. I mean, am I missing a team that like? Who would you say?
Well, the Bills can't score a point in the first 30 minutes of football. If they can figure a way to do that in the postseason, they got a shot. But
they have a shot though. Like Jacksonville has a shot. Houston has a shot.
Houston's
just
got a
real quick.
shot.
By the way, it's I think 3 interceptions since the Rams game, like 6 games ago. On the whole, Sam Darnold's recently been a turnover machine. I'm saying the bottom line on interception, when you look at him versus other quarterbacks that have got 17 games played this season across the board, he's pretty much within 2 or 3 interceptions of them on the total on the year.
But the problem is, since that Rams game, he's gone away from when I was arguing he should be in the MVP conversation. And to me, if he's turning the ball over and he's continuing to do that, Seattle can't just get out of that every single game.
Well, that's what I'm saying is that the turnover hasn't been a turnover problem, as you're saying, over recent. He's fixed that. I'll give you up to the Ram game. 3 interceptions over the last 6 games.
He was not good against the Panthers. Like I don't understand.
He didn't. Again, the penalty. You just said I'm addressing what you're talking about in the turnovers that you said recently. He's been this, and I'm just giving a counterpoint as to how that's not been the case. And it's by him correcting his play in large part on this to get there. He's adjusted since the Rams game. That's kind of the heart of the point I'm trying to make to you here on this is Sam doesn't have to play like an MVP for this team to win a Super Bowl. I've been saying that since day one. And when you have a running game that's working like we do, when you got a special teams working like we do, when you got a defense that's as dominant as they are, you can go hoist a trophy with that. It doesn't require him to play that. And he's realized that. He's corrected those parts in his game by and large. It's not going to be perfect, but it's been fixed to a great measure. Taking the checkdowns, using his legs, not trying to play superhero ball. This is why he's been able to cut down on the interceptions recently.
But back-to-back games, he's turned over the ball, 4 times? 5 times? He's thrown 3 picks. He fumbled.
Yeah, well, fumbles are going to happen, especially if a blindside guy comes through and hits you because the guy doesn't lay his block. That's not about a guy making bad decisions or that he's turning into old Sam or reverting into all these stereotypes you guys have been leaning on for so long this year.
I have the Seahawks winning the game. I have Sam Darnold playing well. Why should I trust him when this same thing we were talking about at the end?
I don't expect you to trust him. As I said, I know I can't win this argument in much of anywhere within here. I've kind of stopped trying to in that respect. But when you mention things of he's been in this turnover, he's really not been the turnover scene since that Rams game. He's corrected these things within his game.
Well, I mean, the last 2 games, though, he has turned the ball over. Like, there's been 3 turnovers that Seattle
quarterbacks turn the ball. That's my point, though. I don't know why Sam gets put under this microcosm where all these other quarterbacks, including your own, who just threw 3 interceptions this last week, it all just kind of gets ignored. But then we're hyper concentrating on this particular quarterback as being like, but look at all of his. Look at all of his, though. Like all of these guys.
Most, though, that's the difference.
Yeah, I mean,
every time
Stafford threw 28 straight touchdowns without an interception.
Then how did he come back? Then how did he come back in that Rams game 2 weeks ago? If this all happens when he matters most, and he shrinks in.
Because Rashid Shaheed saved his ass.
Oh, did he? I thought that they had to come down the field on the overtime and go get a touchdown and a 2-point conversion.
We're not doing this.
I could have swore I saw that reality where they had to go down the field, go get a touchdown and a 2-point conversion at the end with no room for error. That's based on how you guys talk in those moments. He's supposed to shrink. If it adds up to a hill of beans, what you guys are talking in those moments, he's supposed to just collapse and fall apart. And he doesn't. And then you see data that goes against it, and you just go, I'm ignoring that. I'm just acting like that wasn't real.
Sam Darnold had 147 yards in interception against the Panthers. He wasn't the reason they won that game.
Firefighter after
stop moving dude. It's on the point of what we're talking about. You keep moving this over here, Jake, on one side of this. Like he's not this. He's not MVP anymore. The original point on this was that he's having a turnover machine, and what I've been trying to tell you is that there's some things in his game he's cleaned up and fixed that's going to help him moving into the playoffs. It's going to help him this week against the 49ers, and it's legit. It's not me hoping he gets better. It's things that I can tangibly point to in his game that he's improved upon.
Okay, I mean, I get that. Like, I saw that as well. Like, I saw him changing things after he threw 4 interceptions against the Rams, but he still threw 2 interceptions against the Rams and just threw an interception against the Panthers.
That's why I pointed back to the total interception thing. And when you look at, let's say, all these quarterbacks 14. That have started 17 games this year, the majority of them are right in that place of between about 10 or 14 interceptions on the season. They're all in about the same spot. And if you're going to say 4 interceptions is this great difference of a thing, at the same time when you had a quarterback that went and won a Super Bowl with 19 interceptions, but a couple of years ago, I just don't understand why this is such tough math on this, and it gets so far overstated to this great degree. I'm not saying that there's not a potential that this stuff happens the way you guys are saying. I think it's fair to say, look, he's got to prove it. But also just to go without saying that there's no doubt that it's just going to happen, that's where I kind of push back on.
Well, I mean, what I would push back on, because keep in mind, Brandon, I have been very pro Seattle for the whole year. I really have. I've had them right there with the Rams. My thing on Seattle, and I think it's rearing its ugly head, is that I don't trust that this team, who's second in giveaways, is going to just be able to get bailed out by their defense every single game if they get into that predicament. I think eventually your luck runs out because of that. That's all I'm saying. So I have the Seahawks beating the 49ers, but I don't even know how we got on this topic, but I really do think that is the biggest thing for me. Otherwise, if Seattle wasn't second in giveaways, I honestly might have no issue saying that they're probably going to win the Super Bowl. It's set up, it's likely going to go through Seattle if they beat the 49ers, but that game against the Panthers, they won, and they won convincingly. The defense shut them down, but I just didn't like how careless they were with the football. It's these constant turnovers, man. Like, being second in the league in giveaways, that comes back to haunt you. It just does. Just like the Bears, who, by the way, are nowhere near as good as the 49ers, in my opinion. The Bears were in that game the whole way because they were able to get that pick 6 at the beginning of the game. They've been doing that all year. It's the reason why the Steelers, they continue to get that big turnover that keeps them in games when they're not that great of a team. I think turnovers are huge. And I'm just a little concerned. If I'm a Seahawks fan, I'm a little concerned about being second in the league in giveaways. I think that's very fair to say. And if Sam Darnold turns the ball over, like, as great as this defense has been, I mean, what happens when you play the Rams again? Are they going to go for 600 yards again? Probably not, but like, you made them bleed. You know that you can throw on them. I think other teams are going to be able to do that. And so that's the thing. I think that matters. I think the giveaways are going to matter. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, real quick.
It's definitely going to be an important part, limiting him. I don't want to prolong too much, but it's going to be important. Go ahead, Mike.
Let Mike.
Hey, I'm so sorry. It's a super chat. He wanted you to splash on the screen. I think he wanted to just put more fuel in the fire. The super chat says Sam Darnold is a younger Geno Smith.
Oh yeah. And
oh my God.
The streets are also calling him Jesse Ellenbogen the way he's going after Sam Darnold right now. That's what I've been thinking this entire time here.
Hey. I
Sip
love
that
it.
coffee, Brando.
I
Just
saw
get
you.
yourself ready for Saturday.
I saw you, Jesse. I still think Sam Darnold is going to win the game this Saturday, but I think Brock Purdy's going to outplay him, and I think Seattle's going to get one stop and kick a field goal.
We have Slimy. I find it funny how the entire Rams fan base has spent the last 2 weeks blaming everyone, refs, injuries included, but their own players and coaches for bad play. I
called out the Tutu Atwell defensive pass interference, or the one where they took away another touchdown back-to-back weeks. It is what it is, but no, I don't think every Rams fan is blaming the refs for losing. I think we're all kind of sick of it and just want to go out and win games that they should win.
Sean McVay might be the best play caller in ball, but he's the third best developer of talent in this division, and that's coaching. Hawks will win the 1 seed. Wow.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
That is a statement. We have
like
normal
I
education.
like where your head's at, Sean.
Remember when Jesse and Trey Lance remember when Jesse said Trey Lance over Brock Purdy? Because I do.
Sheesh.
I actually don't.
Do you remember when I was talking about Brock Purdy 2 years before he was drafted and said he's a 3rd-round prospect? Because I do.
Ooh,
Do you remember when Kyle Shanahan
only
only gave a guy
who the fuck he was? You didn't know who he was back then. You just knew him with the 49ers because you don't know Dick either. So
tell him, Jess.
That requires more than a normal education. Feed me more.
Yeah.
New Year's resolution, not being too nice to Jesse. He's had enough. He's going at you. And
you know what? Here's the funny thing is we've spent all year playing the analyst game and being nice to each other and whatever. But it's now it's time to be a fan and just enjoy your team and root for them full tilt. Yeah. And the rest is out the window. And that's where we're at. Week 18, playoffs are about to start. All that analyst stuff and picking your team apart and being honest and all that crap goes out the window. Now it's full tilt, root for your team. Let's see how far they can get. So that's the mode that we're in right now.
Brandon and I kicked it off last week.
That's right.
Been on fire, man. We have been on fire. John's on fire. He's saying Purdy is 6-1 versus Seattle. Next up, 7-1. Shout out to Dylan. He stopped by the NFC East Roundtable to give some love to the Hawks, Brando. I thought I'd let you know that. He's back in the building here with us on the NFC West Roundtable, saying Brock Purdy doesn't have elite arm strength. Force him to throw over the top and see what happens. We have Alex Maya.
Important part.
Lil Bro is a Hawks fan, and I'm a Niners fan. Ooh, house divided. This weekend will be fun. Let's go, faithful. Enjoy that. That's going to be fun.
That's a fun household to be a part of.
Put the knives away. Put the knives away. Lock up the guns.
Yeah, don't go in the kitchen, Alex. Do not go in the kitchen. Scott, can we spare a thought for Carroll, Smith, and Lockett? Oh, boy. Enter the black hole, never to be seen again. Still hate those despicable Raiders. It's sad watching Pete Carroll go out like this. It is. That team is abysmally bad.
They're so bad. They have the least amount of guys on the IR, too.
It's very, very bad. Brent, looking purty. About to give y'all the D Minwari.
Oh, good Lord.
Good for you, Brent. Good for you. Xavier.
Get it, Brent.
I'm not worried. Stafford got that Kobe mentality. All right. Job not finished, says Xavier. Dylan, Jesse, can Diamador Lenore go one-on-one with JSN? He's publicly asking for it.
He is publicly asking for it. I would not recommend that.
Oh, please. Please. That dude talks so much shit. I would love to see JSN drop 300.
I know. You guys would love to see. No,
I can't
don't
stand
know
that.
Keep going, Demondre.
Guard
keep
him
it going.
One-on-one, man.
Just keep going. No, just keep it going, please.
I cannot stand Lenore. I don't give a rip. I cannot stand him. I'm sorry.
Jordan.
Dude's right in his mouth when they lose. So obviously he's going to run it when they win.
Purdy needs to pay for dance lessons. My eyes started to bleed watching him do whatever that was. I got to disagree, Jordan. I thought he hit that thing, man. I thought that was clean. I don't know. What'd you guys think? I mean, I thought he was breaking it down.
I didn't have an issue with it.
He might have the best moves in the division.
Let that man live.
In the offseason.
Let that man live.
When you score 5 touchdowns and you win a game in that fashion, you can do what you want.
Do what you want.
That's right. Move however you want.
John Naylor, not to be confused with Jonah. Mike needs a Cancun vacay. GoFundMe. Much respect. Johnny wants to send you on a vacay, Mike. Much
Thank you.
deserved.
I picture Mike laying on a beach and he looks over and sees the players and just a middle finger to the players over there. As he takes a sip, staring him right in the eyes.
Right.
It's so funny.
Freddie K. Baseman. The no call on Tutu was garbage. Could have made the difference. I mean, yeah, it was pass interference. I mean, it was.
But that
Tutu initiated the contact. I'll say that. You can call it. It was that, but he initiated the contact.
Come on, Brandon.
Here we go.
Dude, no,
I'm sorry.
no.
He did. He did.
Look at
His guy puts his hands right up and grabs into his face mask like this, and he's the first guy that starts the contact. And I think that's why they let him get away with it, is that when officials see the offensive player start it, they're going to just say, okay, let him have a hand fight out at that point. You've initiated the contact.
D. Alford was all over him. You know,
I think
we're used to it because it happened in the Super Bowl when Stephon Gilmore held Brandon Cooks, and everyone's wondering why he didn't catch the game-winning touchdown.
So real quick though, you get mad about the T. Higgins play where there's that whole face mask on Jalen. There's a face mask right there, and you're going, no, that's not the same thing.
How is there
that's
a face mask there? Where's the face mask?
That's what he does. He gets up in. I rewatched the highlight before we got on. He's like up under his hand like this before the arms come in.
Bring up that Saints play while we're at it. I know you're waiting on that. Come on.
Can you please show that? No, I'm kidding. But no, all jokes aside, they wouldn't have won anyway. I already made the stance that, you know, the whole point is if he catches that, he's going down with the ball and there's no time. So I guess my thing is I didn't bitch and moan and complain about the call. That was absolutely pass interference though. But that's not why they lost. But Brandon, come on. That just sounds very like one-sided, and it kind of coincides with what you were saying last week, how like,
I'm asking for consistency in how you see things. I quite literally am. Go back. I know everybody shows the end of the play where the arm,
by the way,
the arm's definitely there.
If you go on
definitely
ESPN.com after the game, they're saying basically they missed controversial defensive pass interference. The analysts were more upset about that call than I was. And oh, by the way, to add on to what I was saying about why Parkinson caught that touchdown, because I am going to go there. Now we finally know. Puka Nacua did not catch that ball last night because he has to maintain possession. He had possession, lost possession, didn't gain it until he was out of bounds. So now he has to reestablish himself. He couldn't. That's why Parkinson caught it. It wasn't because it was this conspiracy against the Rams, for the Rams to win, Brandon. That was a touchdown because he literally lost possession, never hits the ground, and then he gains possession in the end zone. That's exactly why Puka Nacua's catch that everyone's trying to act like was a catch last night was not a catch. So, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just saying,
that's fair.
There are multiple examples last night where, like, I could have bitched and moaned and complained about the officiating, and I didn't. Like, you know, so it's like, you got to at least give Tutu Atwell that one. I mean, what is he supposed to do? You have to let the receiver try and catch the football. If you hold onto his arm, I don't give a rip that he had his hand or whatever. He's literally holding onto his arm, and Tutu Atwell's like this. That is pass interference.
Yeah, and the reason I don't lie there is because he's initiating the contact and he's reacting to that contact. This is also why the official didn't call it in the moment, I believe. So I can understand that you disagree and why you do. And I'm not saying it's not at that point, but I think what the officials do and how they tend to rule this is if an offensive player commits the foul and they're not going to call the OPI like they did earlier in this game, they're going to let them play it out through the course of the rep.
Brandon's focused on the Rams and he's about to lose to the 49ers. Crazy work.
I think that was D. Alford's first pass.
I'm just trying to understand Jake better here, Jesse. That's all. I'm just trying to understand. I look at the T. Higgins play and face mask, and this guy initiates the offensive guy. That's should be a flag here, but then over here it's not. So I'm just trying to find trying to understand where the ground's at, my man.
The T. Higgins, he ripped Jalen. He tugged on Jalen's face mask. So
go watch the replay. So did Tutu Atwell at the start of that play.
Tutu Atwell never had the face mask. I don't know what you're talking about.
He's right underneath like this.
You need to go back and watch T. Higgins. Jalen Ramsey was like this. Of course,
I can send the screenshot to Zbot.
Of course, then again, Then again, we know Jalen Ramsey's been hosed by the refs before wearing the horns because you have that phantom call in Seattle.
I'm sure. Yeah,
cares about any of this.
Yeah, Dylan got us down Freddie got us down the ref rabbit hole. Dylan was adding to it. And Jesse's right. Nobody cares. All anybody cares about is our main man, Mike, the real MVP. Mike is the real MVP, according to PGZ.
He's multiple a week, dude. It's
amazing. Let's go.
It's amazing.
Let's go, PGZ.
He's the guy. He's the man.
Well, he might be
Jake.
talking about Mike McDonald. I'm not sure if he's talking about him, but
No.
Sorry
Take
about
credit.
you.
Take
Not a
credit.
shot. Jay Gundy. Niners are 6-1 over Seattle. Well, Shanahan is 2-2 versus the aforementioned McDonald. And the last time he had a D playing at this level, he smoked the Niners. It's why JS hired him.
No, McDonald's a really good coach, man. We gave Seattle all the credit in the world for this. This is a guy that worries the hell out of me. I think he's a phenomenal coach. I think that Seattle has a lot of really, really good players over there. I've been hyping those guys up for a couple of years now. And then finally, the year that they actually put it together, I was like, all right, I can't do this a third year in a row. Like, they got to just like finally put it together before I believe in them. And of course they do it the year that I say that. But no, Seattle's a very, very good team. Very good team. All jokes aside, they are.
We were right about
Gundy.
Mike McDonald.
Well, he's adding to it.
But
He's
Sam
saying,
Darnold
since y'all
stinks.
want to live in the past, Seattle is 31-24 versus the Niners, 29-28 versus the Rams, 31-22-1 versus the Cards. What's your point? Yeah, I mean, we're going down memory lane here. Jay Gundy's got the history book out for this division. We got Daniel coming in. Was curious to see how Jake would spin losing to the Falcons as confirmation that they are the best in the NFL. Almost impressive, like the Rams. Wow.
I mean, I just said it like I said it. I mean, did you see Alaric Jackson, Kevin Dotson, Devontae Adams, Quentin Lake out there? Like, if the Rams lost that game to the Falcons the way they did with those players, then I would be concerned.
You know who's not concerned? Roger, because he's dropping us off a tangerine. He's
Ooh,
giving
let's
the
go,
boys
Roger.
a much-needed tangerine.
Roger.
Our main man, Roger, saying the Rams sure know how to make a season interesting. Just wanted to wish y'all a great New Year's. I'll be drinking the frustration from this game away. A very happy New Year to you as well,
Happy New
Roger.
Year, Roger.
Don't don't go too deep though. You got important games coming up here. We need you well rested. Enjoy your New Year, but take it a little easy. We need you at full strength for the upcoming postseason here. PGZ back in. Cards 50, Rams 3, Hawks 38, Jesse's team 17. I mean, just simply put, he's got a couple of routes coming this way.
I'll take that.
This upcoming weekend here. Chacho saying, Jake, if my Ravens get in the playoffs, do we have to play Houston in the first round? Yeah, I think that's the likely scenario. Yes,
It's likely, but there's a lot. I mean, the AFC, it's not like super likely things will change a lot, but I don't know if you've noticed, like, there's 3 teams that are up for the 1 seed. The Bills can get all the way to the 5 seed. They can fall to the 7. The Chargers can
Jags
go
would
to
have
the
to
5.
lose to the Titans though for the Bills to get that 5. So it's looking like it's.
I think
pretty
it's going to
much,
stay the way it is for the most part.
I think the Bills are going to end up with the 6 and take on Jacksonville. I know I might be eating my words. I'd rather the Bills land that 7 and take on the Pats. It's just a familiar team. Not saying they beat them. I think Jacksonville is one of the hottest teams in the sport right now.
That is a bad draw for the Patriots if they get the Bills.
Yes. And I think Jacksonville is extremely well-rounded, and they can run the ball far better than New England can, and we all know that's the Bills' kryptonite. The AFC, though, both these conferences are just so wide open. I mean,
I'm sorry, Chach,
unreal.
though. Winner of Ravens Steelers, they're not beating the Texans. I think the Texans absolutely stifled them at the point. Like, I think that defense is going to the Super Bowl. I think it's Rams Texans right here, right now. I think both 5 seeds will be in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and Chacho, for the love of God, beat the Steelers. Nobody wants to watch that team in the postseason. Daniel, Jesse thinks Sam will fold against the Niners D? And you've been putting your money where your mouth is for some time, Jesse. I think we know how you feel about this.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the Niners defense is special by any means. I just think that Sam feels the pressure, and I think he does it to himself. I think Sam in a vacuum is a good player. He has all the talent in the world. I understand all of that, but some guys just put more pressure on themselves and make mistakes they wouldn't normally make in big time games. And I feel like that's Sam Darnold. So we'll see if I'm right.
Daniel's adding, he's saying primetime 25 Matt is 1-3. Sam is 4-0. It's a narrative versus reality. I know Brando likes that one.
It's a good stat. It's a good stat, Daniel.
It ain't
Prime
bad.
time games in the regular season, man. There's nothing better than that to show that a quarterback's clutch against who knows who the hell they're playing. Like, come on, man.
Jay Gundy, fun fact, since y'all want to live in the past. Wow, the super chat's so nice. He sent it twice. He really wanted us to go down memory lane. And Jay Gundy, we appreciate it. We'll be adding another chapter to that book this upcoming weekend. Our main man, Matt, dropping off a tangerine for the fellas.
Matt.
Matt saying, dang, just saw you were on. Hope I didn't miss too much. Been a great roundtable this season. Only thing I ask is if not Rams, which I hope is the case, then the Hawks win in San Francisco Stadium. Sorry, Jesse. Wow, that's some next level hating right there.
We got you, Matthew. We got you.
He's saying if it can't be the Rams, man, Hawks go get it done. I mean, that's the thing. That would burn for any of you guys here outside of Jesse. If the Rams or the Hawks go into that stadium, like the thought of what, in an alternate reality, like the Patriots going to the Ralph and winning a Super Bowl there, vomit.
It's the idea too, like, oh, we're 5 games away from winning the Super Bowl in our stadium, and then it's flipped on their head, and it's Seattle or the Rams hoisting the Lombardi Trophy. Like, I feel like the 49ers turning this season around has led the 49er fans to believe that's not possible anymore to a degree, but it's still in the back of their mind, and it's very real. I will tell you right now, I think the AFC South is going to be in the Super Bowl, and I think the NFC West is going to be in the Super Bowl. That's what I believe.
God, just like everybody predicted, the good old AFC South. I mean, what is going on in this?
I don't make it up, man. I'm just going by what they show me.
By the way, it's unquestionable. I haven't been keeping track, but this is back-to-back weeks where we have surpassed 100 super chats. There's no question about it. We have been at 60 super chats for the last 45 minutes, and I've unclicked 90 of them. So you guys are just unbelievable. Alex is back in the red and gold. He's excited to watch his Niners on Saturday night. Jordan stopping by once again saying you should look at Purdy versus Mike's defense in his career. It's not Purdy. Well, we'll see what happens Saturday. For all the marbles, Dylan back in. Sky Moore is going to be back there for the return and is going to bobble and fumble his last time in an NFL uniform. Dylan's got the crystal ball here.
Let's see. Dylan. Let's go.
And Cedric's shooting off yet another tangerine for the boys late on a Tuesday evening.
Thank you, Cedric.
Cedric saying, in the spirit of brotherhood, I would like to wish the roundtable, Seahawks fans, Rams fans, Cardinals fans, Bills fans, and my Niners faithful a happy New Year's. Be blessed and prosperous. Go Niners. Very well said.
Brother. You too. Thank you.
Yeah.
Back at
you too, and definitely echo that across this whole panel as well. We're really lucky to be able to get what we do, and great crew of guys here that I get to work with on that. So
I got 4 more brothers. I thought I only had 1, but then I found you 4.
I have 0, so it was great to gain 4. I longed for it my whole life. It's pretty amazing. And this is the last episode, by the way, of 2025, as you all well know. I'm sure you guys have looked at the calendar over the last couple of days. So once again, goes without saying, a very happy New Year to everyone, including you, Cedric. Thank you very much.
Z-Bot,
yeah.
Did you point out that at one point or another, I don't know if we got to 1,500, but we were over 1,400. I think that's a record.
Let's go.
1,400. We almost touched down on 15. Now we are peaking. I'm telling you guys, it's
subscribe.
I got to get a thesaurus out to start finding the words to describe this. And I think if we do get towards that Super Bowl we're talking about here, whether it be, Jesse's Niners at home or whether it be one of the rivals heading to Levi to do it on their own accord. I mean, these numbers, you guys you're killing me in the best way possible. It's unbelievable. And so unbelievable that, of course, I lost my spot. Here we go. Daniel, Niners content creator, in-depth analysis. Sam is trash. You did your research.
Hey, listen.
Jesse.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I said that they've played 7 playoff teams and he has 8 touchdowns and 10 turnovers. But listen, it's also not a surprise that a fan of his team is upset when his quarterback is targeted. It happens to my own fan base when I talk about Brock Purdy and he's not playing well. If a guy's playing well, I'll give him credit. If he's not, then I'm going to talk about that too. And if that hurts your feelings, then I guess I'll hurt your feelings.
What a wild take, Jesse. God, you are unhinged, man. It's unbelievable. Dylan, Mike taking San Francisco and thinking Sam is turning pumpkin. Mike, your team took enough losses this season. No need to add any more L's to yourself. Wow.
All right, Mike is absolutely not allowed to be, dug into or
Soft
anything. There's a force field over Mike at this
No,
point.
well, let me chime into that. I mean, hey, I'm Switzerland here. I mean, I get an opportunity to pick, and then obviously be in the round table with these guys. I'm really happy to be here. And yeah, some people are like, it's like the kids say, but it is. I'm excited to be here, honestly. But if I went for the Seahawks fans, I have a lot of 49ers fans. I mean, honestly, they might stab me. So I go with the 49ers.
Vegas Soccer saying, can we get a San Francisco Seattle play-by-play show? Well, I know Brandon will be live for 12 hours over on the Hawks Nest YouTube channel, so you can go join him.
True.
I mean, my God. And I never see you get up either. Like, I don't know what you're doing over there. I don't know how you're doing it. Not even sure you're. I mean, if I haven't
sponsored by Depends over there.
Oh, dude, I got a bucket beneath the table. It's just
unreal. Amy is saying, guys, I am completely broke, but I will always find a way to let people know F the Niners and go Hawks, baby. Wow. That might be one of my all-time favorites right there.
Oh,
that's
man.
amazing.
Good turn there. Good turn there.
Incredible stuff. Daza. 3 divisional games to decide the division champs this weekend. Big weekend of football, not to mention, Daza, college football playoff this upcoming week. I mean, followed by wild card weekend, the best weekend of the year.
This is it. Yeah, this is it right here. I got my Oregon Ducks on Thursday, and then 2 days later, the Niners. It doesn't get better than this.
Oh my God, my wife is gonna hate me, but that's just the breaks, man. It's unfortunate. We got Johnny back in the building. Brando on fire with a hat ready to fit Jesse's melon. We know Jesse likes his hats, and we know Brandon's good at picking them out. So
it's gonna be a nice low fit.
Oh God, I can't wait to see what we wind up going with for either one of you. Propa back in. The Seahawks have such an advantage in defense that they should win, but that's exactly why Darnold will lose it for him. Wow. Yet another one. Add it to
Someone
the list.
needs to wear the big hat, the giant hat. I need to see that.
I want like one of those Schmitty Wergeman Jensen from SpongeBob with the clapping hands, but it's themed for one of the teams. He was number 1. Matt back in.
Or a beer drinking hat, but it's like team themed.
It's filled with
tears.
Everclear. Oh yeah, whatever. or tears. Yeah. Basically the exact same thing for whoever ends up losing. Matt saying, dang, Brando, talking that smack. One thing I'll say is San Francisco may not be the best team, but they are the best coach team this year. Hell of a job by Kyle Shanahan. And I think everyone is in agreement this year. This is an incredible job done by
I love what Vrabel's done great, but Kyle should win this thing to me by a mile. I just think that when it all comes down to it, you got to give him the nod on this. This is incredible work he's done, and they are a well-coached team.
No question about it. T. Ferg.
Liam Cohen would be 2 for me, by the way.
Yeah, he's got to be the most underrated coach going right now because with the Ben Johnson hire and the Vrabel hire, it just feels like people forget about Cohen, and the Jags are scaring me right now.
And turning Trevor Lawrence into a quarterback that actually looks like a franchise quarterback. I mean, I was totally out on it.
T. Ferg's dropping in, by the way, Jake, to kind of stroke his own ego here. He's saying he's going to be top 10. He's
That's
coming
hilarious.
For that crown. Coming for the crown.
Hey, Jesse was high on him. Jesse liked him. He knew.
He was an Oregon Duck. My only concern was he had that injury, and when he had that knee injury, which I mean, deservedly so, he got a little shy from contact, and so I was like, that's who he's going to be in the NFL. It's going to be a problem, but if not, he's going to be really, really good. Yeah.
No, he's been, because I remember you saying that, and then I watched the tape, and it started to really stand out, and I was like, oh boy. And no, he's actually, he does not shy away from contact. He gets
he's
decked.
been good with it.
Yeah, I'm really impressed with him. Like that's something, like I said, that he is going to be the best tight end in Rams history as long as he stays healthy.
Megan saying, did my super go through? I guess it did.
It's
Meg,
at 6 p.m. So it was right that thing where it's at the very start of the show.
Megan,
she said it's.
Oh, you got it.
Yeah, I can't post it up, but it's New York in NYE on the other side of the world, and all I want is for the Hawks to beat the Niners. The Rams to stop moaning about the refs and the Cards. Well, I'm not sure. Happy 2006 to all y'all, and go Hawks.
Did
Go
Megan write
Hawks
that
at the-
reps portion? Did she write that reps portion in italics for you, Brando, so you could give it that real punctuation it deserves?
I added a little bit of creativity to it. Might have just given a little bit of extra accents in the right places. This and that.
Well done. Bronze Sausage, the legend. Defense wins chips, and this is a chip level game. Oh, you better believe it. The chips are out on the table, Bronze. No question. Daniel, Jesse acting like he predicted this week 18. He said Hawks would miss the playoffs with a week 18 loss. We clinched weeks ago. Man, the memories on this show, steel trap. I don't know what I had for breakfast this morning.
I said that the scenario was different than what I had predicted, but I did say that a week 18 game would be very, very important for the Seattle Seahawks and that Sam Darnold wouldn't show up. So, yes, I got the scenario wrong, but the significance is certainly there.
We are about to enter rapid fire time, as it will be 2027 if we continue to read at this place, not 2026. Let's go into our friend, the only Flav. I remember when Purdy taught Darnold how to play quarterback a couple of years ago. Really impressive how much Darnold was able to learn from Brock in just 1 year. We'll see how much he learned from him on Saturday night. Freddie K back in. Happy new 2026.
Here, here.
Wish you all health and prosperity. Right back at you, Freddie K, and to the whole chat. Jay Gundy, smash that like button, mother effers. Please do. We got well over 1,000 in here. Let it rip for us as we approach 2026. Cedric back in. Jesse, remember what happened in 2019 when the division was on the line? Part 2 on the way. LFG. Jesse certainly remembers. He's looking for a repeat of it. Daza, not a Purdy fan, but the last couple of weeks shows what he can do with time. Even more frustrating, the Niners don't take O-line seriously like other teams. And I think we can all agree if Purdy plays like he did against the Bears the last couple of weeks, I mean, Jake said it himself. He's got him in the trust tree right behind Matt Stafford going into the, shout out Chris Sims, going into the postseason here. Dylan, can't believe I have to wait till next year to watch. There it is, the first one I've seen this year.
Oh, boy.
Remember back in elementary school, see you next year. And you'd be like,
Yep.
oh my God, you got it. You got it. Matthew, can anyone do Forrest Gump and say Rams are like a box of chocolates? You never know what you're going to get. Brando, that's got to be in your bag.
Rams are like a box of chocolates. You never know when Stafford's going to throw interceptions.
Oh, here we go.
You think you two were playing this weekend. I swear to God, if you didn't know any better, you would think it's Rams Hawks this upcoming week.
And people have literally asked me straight up, like, do you have an issue with Brando? I'm like, I love Brando. I like this. This is all fun for me.
Yeah. This and it's look, folks, I think part of what we're trying to be entertaining to you, and we're also passionate about what we believe. But as I said earlier, whatever you hear of us going at it, we all love each other. I've been friends with Jesse. Jesse's the reason I'm on this channel right now. It's same with Mike, and having meet these guys. They're all just exactly who they are behind the camera here. So it is all in good fun at the end of the day. We don't take ourselves too seriously. We take our team seriously.
I'm going to say one thing, and I'm going to relate it to Stafford. Jesse, you went out. You got Brando. That was like the Rams getting Matthew Stafford for our show.
It really was. That put the show over the top, man.
Yeah,
Once we got Brando here, this show took all the way off.
Absolutely.
Very kind of you to say, man. I appreciate that.
I love all this sappy talk like we don't have the postseason 10 days away. Get it all out right now. We got Ski Nation. Now that Stat Padford has shown his true colors, we can finally crown number 9 the real MVP. Are we talking about McCarthy?
Oh, no.
9? Oh,
that's a McCarthy reference.
Yeah. God, who hasn't gotten?
It's that photo, Jake. There's that photo going around today with him.
I hate it so much. I mean, I don't know. I will say the worst thing that has ever happened this year is the Drake May.
It's unbelievably bad.
I feel like society is getting dumber, and like we're not getting dumber while society is. So the people that have caught on and are like, this is stupid. It's like we're like still smart, and society has just gotten collectively dumber because we're like Drake May, and I'm like, what is of all the things? Like, how is that a thing?
It's like the 6-7 thing.
Thank you, Brandon. I was gonna say that. I didn't want to say it though because I hate it.
I do too. This is like the most random stuff people get.
Merriam-Webster's word of the year, by the way, 6-7.
It's literally not a word, but go off.
Well, that's where we're at. It'll be Drake May.
Society's getting dumber. You have Merriam-Webster saying that 2 numbers is a word.
Let me fact check myself here. I don't want to diss Merriam-Webster, but I'm almost positive that was the word of the year. No, the word, my bad, even better. Actually, this is very fitting. Sorry to misquote Merriam-Webster, but this is very fitting. Guess what the word of the year was? Slop. Slop. I feel like this is all fitting the category. Drake, May, that's slop. 6-7, slop.
Someone made that with AI. That's all I can say. And now, by the way, that's why slop is because everything's AI now. So people have been saying AI slop in a sentence so much.
I was somewhat right, by the way. Dictionary.com's word of the year was 6-7. I know everybody was just dying. You know, I got to get my facts straight.
Dictionary.com is not reputable anymore.
It's over. So
it's over.
What is? Nobody except for the NFC West Roundtable. I'm fact checking myself. Reputable right here.
Who's going on dictionary.com anyway? Like you know what I mean? Like who's actually going on those websites? All right, I'm done throwing shade. I'm done.
I just gave him a click. Lucky Luke. I think the Rams got rat poison. Shout out to Nick Saban. Johnny Laser. Brando needs this win. Go Hawks. By the way, hate the Dougie. Man, I don't know why. Brock's getting hated on, man. I mean, my man hit that thing. I just don't get it. I don't get the hate. Angel Castillo is just stopping by to say, that's what he said. Angel, we really appreciate it. You are the man. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Angel.
Just sorry. Darnold saw ghosts. There it is on a football field. And Brandon, if you want another reason you do not win your rush attack, seems forced and 49ers scored 48 on Colts. Seattle's supposed great offense scored 18.
You can play that game kind of back and forth going week in and week out in the NFL a little bit on that. As far as it's like going back to Rams and saying, well, look, we beat the Falcons but 36 this, and then you guys lost to them. So it doesn't really hold up in that way as an argument consistently wise, but we'll see on this. I get it. Sam has a lot of people out there that need to be disproven. For my money, I think what he's put on film over the last 2 years of tape, outside of going to a particular game here or going to just one little particular game over here, he's shown really good tape, and he's played like a top 10 quarterback over that time, and that's enough to get you a Super Bowl if you got a great team.
Manhattan John dropping off a tangerine for the fellas, saying, great news. All of the sandwich shops in Philadelphia have agreed to not sell cheesesteaks to the Rams when they visit as the 6th seed. Everyone is worried about them choking again.
Get him, man.
Excellent work, Manhattan John. Bravo. Silencer. Rams are getting back Adams, Higbee, 2 of our star O-linemen, and they will use the last 2 weeks' chatter as motivation to take on Denver in the Super Bowl and become victorious. Jake's my guy. He's got Bo Nix going the distance here against your Rams.
Not going to the Super Bowl. That absolutely not.
I want to point out something about the Broncos. And I saw this, I forget, it was yesterday or the other day. They've played like 7 backup quarterbacks and no one's talking about it. I think that also is going to rear its ugly head in the playoffs.
I can't buy into them either. I don't. Mike, you make it the quad on this? You buying them?
I mean, I like their defense. I like Vance Joseph. I like Sean Payton.
Super Bowl?
I'm not Super Bowl. No, definitely not Super Bowl.
Like, I don't love the Texans' offense, right? Their run game is atrocious. Not a fan. But their defense is that good. I feel like the Texans are going to the Super Bowl. I had it last year.
I trust the Stroud-Nico combination more than I'm going to trust Knicks and Cortland Sutton.
The thing is, though, is like, what do you trust right now? There's like no fully trustworthy team. This is why this is so difficult.
Agreed.
I can't bet on Trevor Lawrence. I don't care if he's 3rd in the MVP race right now. Like, I just can't do it. But, Liam Cohen deserves a lot of credit. The Steelers, Ravens, whatever, no one is going to win there. The Bills, like I said, Ziba, I mean, the Bills absolutely can win the Super Bowl. And if any Bills team was going to win it, it would be the least talented Josh Allen Bills team I think I've seen.
Oh, my God. One of these days. Just one. How about it, please? For the love of God, Joseph. Seattle is going to lay it on our faces. on Saturday, 45-13. Wow. So is that a Niner fan in Joseph here?
Yeah, he does this reverse thing. He's been doing it all year.
Good try, Joseph. Good try, but your dark magic won't work here in this dojo.
Hold on.
Who did Perna, whatever.
Oh, the curse wheel?
Curse.
I dare not look. I dare not look.
I didn't see it.
I'm going to look.
Take a peek. Going. The only Flav. I'd put Eli in the Hall of Fame over Russell Wilson any day. And I think Houston's D right now would shut down any offense in the West except for the 49ers. Statue Stafford would be on his back all game. I don't think anybody wants to play Houston right now. I mean, the defense is just ridiculous. A Seattle-Houston Super Bowl would be nuts. I think we talked about this before. It could easily be another Rams-Patriots Super Bowl where you're getting like a 10-3 type finish. It wouldn't shock me. I mean, these defenses are just nuts right now. Propa, Jesse, what can Saleh do to minimize the damage? I love that Lenore wants to shadow JSN. Maybe just sell out to stop the run and make Sam beat you?
Yeah, I think there's something to that, but I just think he has to mix up coverages. He just has to make Sam think a little bit. That extra half tick is enough to possibly make that mistake. And the 49ers players have to be aggressive. I mean, this isn't a game to sit back, just play cover 3 and rush 4 and hope that it all works out for you. Like, you can't do that. If your defense is as bad as it's been, just go all out, break on routes. If you think you see something, go for it. Let these guys go make plays and live with the results. So that's the way I'd look at it.
Joseph back in. Darnold, 10 times better than Brock will ever be. Hi, Jesse. Christopher Royale. Break out the pudding, ladies. Wrestle it out. Love it. Brent, how many turnovers did Stafford give the Panthers? Back to our turnover debate. I don't want to bring this into 2027 again, but how many was it, Jake?
I think it was 3.
3. I honestly, I forgot. 3 is the magic word. Lucas, he wants to say, thank you, Lucas. We appreciate you, brother. Duce with a tangerine.
It was the Patriots, by
the way.
Curse wheel was the Patriots.
Yeah, but they played the freaking Jets. So it's like, not even the curse wheel could get them to lose to the Jets.
That's how bad that organization is. Don't tell Richie.
Bad.
It probably cursed the Jets somehow.
Even the dark arts can't affect it. Even Satan himself can.
I don't think he's done it yet for this week. To be fair, the week did just start. So
we are waiting with bated breath. Duce saying Rams will get back on track. I trust Stafford in the big moments. We will see sooner than later. In just about 10 days or so, we'll see what Stafford's got in the playoffs. Chief Jams. Hawks win by a touchdown in that franchise record.
So 16 games, we set a point record, offensively speaking, for the most points scored in our history of our franchise, and did it in 16 games, so not even needing the 17th game to do so.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Pretty amazing when you factor in that might not be the best. That's not the best part of their team. It's pretty crazy. Lucas, who just gave us the silencer a couple of seconds ago, is back in saying 6th in giveaways, 2nd in scoring. I think that's referring to who are we talking to? The Seahawks, right? Yeah. I didn't realize it was that many points, Brando. That's crazy. But it's been an insane amount recently.
It's that what it is that it's that, and I know we gotta go quick, but it's the boom or bust aspect of things offensively, to where when it's quiet and it's cold, it's ice cold, and when it's hot, it's like flames are coming off of it, and it's just that when the flames are coming, they're coming fast, but when it's cold, it's just as bad almost, and so it's kind of the way it's rolled.
Speaking of on fire, Dylan been on fire all night, saying Seattle might start slow, the offense, and Sam plays his worst at times. He always bounces back, and as Seattle fans, a trust is growing that he can make any play. And I guess that's the silver lining in what we've been talking about here, is he has bounced back from these slow starts as of late in these games here. Matt back in. This shit is better than a soap opera. Where the hell is my beer and popcorn? Who's stopping you, Matt? Get in the fridge, get in the cupboard. Bust it all out. Lucas is saying 2nd in giveaways, 2nd in scoring. So that is Seattle, right?
Yeah, I didn't think I was wrong, but I didn't mean to spread some misinformation there.
Yeah, he updated it. He updated it.
He updated.
Okay,
That's what he's
okay.
doing with his second donation was to correct his misspeak on that one. Yeah.
See, in the trust tree, right? Right over here on the NFC West Roundtable, fact checking ourselves. Joseph, as a Niners fan, I hate the Niners and Brock. Wow. One seed on the line. And
He's going deep. He's going deep in that psychological bag today. Okay.
Yeah.
Good for you, Joe. Keep doing what you got to do. Do your 112th. Savior, listening to Jake talk about Sam Darnold after what his quarterback just did against the Falcons is hilarious. The copium hits hard. I got a feeling copium, Jake, is in your list of most hated words. Am I wrong?
Oh yeah, copium. I live in Copenhagen. I've heard it all.
That's a good one.
I was waiting for you. I was waiting for you guys to react to that. I think it's funny.
Love that one.
That's good.
My thing here on this is that, again, Stafford is the MVP of the league, and he's won a Super Bowl. And everyone said he was 0-3 in the playoffs and sucked, and Lions, whatever. He had 4 touchdowns in his first ever playoff game, so it was never him. It was that shit Detroit team. But he goes to the Rams. He wins 4 straight. He throws 10 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. He ends up with he's the first quarterback ever to have 6,000 yards in a season, including the postseason. And I mean, Darnold hasn't done that yet. And as a matter of fact, Darnold played the Rams last year, and I watched it. So I've given Darnold a lot of credit and everything this year, but I think lately I'm just starting to not trust him as much. That's all I'm saying. I still think Seattle can win, but I think it's going to be tougher.
Then we got our first Cardinal super chat of the evening that wasn't saying how much they love Mike, and it's Mark Jackson saying, "Let's go, number 3 pick, fire Monty. Let's go, Mark. Big weekend coming up for the Cards." Sean, Purdy has 6 TDs and 7 interceptions against Mike McDarnold-ish. Is that true?
He's saying, well, it's against Mike McDonald. When he's played him, he's got 6 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. And he's saying, isn't that like Sam Darnold-ish? I think this is to Jesse.
Love it. Love it. Johnny Naylor, much respect to Zeba, Jake, Jesse, and Brando for making 2025 less painful and a great escape. Looking forward to 2026. We appreciate you, John. Thanks so much, and Happy New Year.
Well, thank you.
No doubt.
Thank you,
Happy
John.
New Year to you, my friend. Slime, do turnovers only matter to you when Darnold's the one throwing it, Jake? From what I remember, Stafford has lost you 2 games with turnovers.
Stafford, this has got to stop. Stafford has 42 touchdown passes to 8 interceptions on the season. He had a stretch of 9 games out of 10 without an interception this season alone. Like, stop. He had 2 bad games. We get it.
Lord.
But
thanks, Jesse.
Listen,
I'm not going
42 to 8.
Yeah.
What are we actually doing here?
Even Brandon's like, come on now, this is ridiculous.
Oh no, I think Stafford's great. I'm not gonna even begin to go
You
that place.
said
And,
even after winning, you said he was the MVP.
yeah, I still would. I still think Drake May's, remember the whole 6th easiest schedule thing through the NFL through a large part of this year for New England. That still just sits in my mind so heavily in that verse the Rams having to play in this division and having to play through the schedule. I think that's got to be a factor you take into here, and I still would even after
He's
that
going to win
game
the MVP
in this
though.
one.
100%. They want him
Drake?
so badly.
100%.
Hard to
Yeah,
think the
well,
MVP would blow a 21-point lead at home to an inferior opponent, but I mean, that might be the way it ends up going down here, fellas. I don't know. We'll see what ends up happening. Propa, everyone arguing while Mike is just sitting with that aura. He's got that aura radiating off that top right square. No doubt about it, Propa. Well said. Lucky Luke, are we not going to talk about the Falcons defender ripping off Poona Ford's helmet? No call for that. And he still finished the play, by the way.
I know. I thought it was hilarious. I don't know how there was no call, but he didn't complain. I think you gotta. I don't know why, but sometimes
He
gotta
never
actually.
complains. He never
No,
does.
Poona's just a dude.
Joseph is saying Jesse blessed the timeline with that pick earlier. I don't know if I saw this.
There is no
Sure.
pick. He's definitely starting shit.
Probably like the OF joke. Probably, I don't know.
Yeah, Joseph is he's just doing what he's got to do, man. I get it. I mean, you got the 1 seat on the line. You got to conjure up whatever you can. Senior Psycho. That's a hell of a name. That might give Ron Sausage a run right there.
Yeah, that's an
love that.
all-timer right there.
What does it say when the rest of the NFC West decides to wear their rivalry jerseys against the Seahawks? Whoa, Brando, bringing out
Recognition of the big dog starting to rise up on the dock and getting ready to bark.
bringing out the Sunday best on
Good Lord.
Saturday.
You
It's
just
San
did the Allstate barking commercial?
I didn't.
Oh, that I love.
Well, no,
that.
I didn't. No, I didn't know that would. I was just barking, but that. Yeah, sure. Just
Barking
can't
like a
double
dog
check.
to your boss. Dumb. Daza, while Niners D looks like crap, if they make the NFC Championship game, Fred is probably back. Is that accurate, Jesse, or no?
If they make it to the Super Bowl, I bet he's back. There was a report from me and Rappaport that was like, he could be back maybe, but probably not likely, and maybe the Super Bowl. Like, if they make the Super Bowl, he'll play. He'll play. But if they NFC Championship, I think it's too early.
Jay Gundy was saying that the chat was glitching on his phone. Don't worry, Jay Gundy. We've been getting your chats all night. We appreciate you, brother, as always. Daniel, Purdy and Stafford just threw a pick 6 this week. Man, the turnover debate, endless tonight.
Can I just also say the pick 6 thing is so overblown. In a game, I get it. Isolated event, it cost the game. This idea like, oh, he tied Brett Favre of all time for the most pick 6s. Like, so if you get picked off at the goal line, Brandon knows this. Geno Smith got picked off at the goal line by Cam Kinchins. You're telling me if he has to break tackles and whatnot and go 100 whatever yards, like the pick 6 is on the quarterback? Like, the interception's on the quarterback, but I don't understand why like we put so much stock into pick 6s. You could have one. It's just ridiculous to me. I've never.
I agree with you. Look, the thing with it too is that he plays on a team in Detroit through much of his career. He's got to throw the ball a lot. Defenses know he's going to throw the ball, so there's probably a lot of jumping of the routes. It's always where context matters, and you can't just take a statistic in a vacuum and go, this is what this thing means. Especially for a guy that plays 20 years. It's kind of a volume stat as much as anything else.
They did that to discredit him the year he won the Super Bowl. So if they want to do it again, by all means, whatever.
John Naylor leaning into the bit. Jonah predicts the Hawks over the 49ers on Saturday.
Oh, we reverse your reverse. How about that? Huh?
Love it. Cal Vineyard. This Seattle team is special. All respect to Jesse. Best of luck to the Niners. However, I truly believe the Hawks are going to the Super Bowl. And speaking of those Hawks, it's feed me more. Saying 2 years of being mean to you, Jesse, equals 0 insults from you. You don't got anything back for feed me more?
Oh, I've just never fired back on him. I know it's all in good fun. And most of the time, I know it's all in good fun, especially when it's coming from other fan bases. It's usually my fan base, oddly enough, that gets like real personal and serious because of the whole Brock Purdy thing. So it's just, I'll give you the energy you give me. If you want to fire off on me and be serious, then I'll fire off on you. If it's all in good fun, then I don't really care.
Megan saying, I think you missed my first super bot. You had one job, but luckily, Megan, Brando's better at my job than I am. We read it earlier. We'll read it again. Megan saying, it's New Year's Eve here, and I wish you all a very happy 2026. And let's go, Hawks. Blessing and peace to all for the new year. And looking forward to it once again, Megan. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Megan. Happy New Year.
Appreciate all your support all year long. Feed me more. Too bad, so sad. Mike, you look like the Mexican Elmo. What?
Seahawks fans are pissed right now, man. You bet against them, and then they get crazy on you.
Dude, I don't know what that is.
Wait, hold on. Wait, hold on. Wasn't Jake here just a second ago talking about us here? Wait, now of course I missed it here. I got my buttons all messed up. We were in the trust tree, I thought. What about the trust?
I thought we were in the trust
tree.
You have that in your... I thought we were in the... No, not this time. It's totally made up. Pure fiction. It's fiction.
You gotta be nice to Mike. Come on now.
No,
Mike is off limits. It's been 2 hours, guys, and Mike hasn't been able to say anything about the Cardinals, and I don't even think Mike wants to say anything about the Cardinals.
Well, that's one thing. Real quick, I'm sorry. What do people want me to say? Like, these super chats have nothing to do with me. I see people in the chat saying, "Oh, I'm just scrolling my phone." What do you want me to say? There's nothing to do with me. Like, let them fight. I'm gonna popcorn. Next year, hopefully, I can say something.
Hey,
what do you want me to say?
It's not like you're in your car.
Yeah. Exactly. I'm in. I mean, it's your guys'
I'm just saying, you're here every week. The Cardinals have won 3 games. It's been an incredibly disappointing season. All of us had them winning at least 7, I believe. Like, you're here every week. It's not like you're on your car barely involved, okay?
Yeah.
Like, that's all I'm saying.
Just be happy I'm here, all right? I have the lights on.
We're stoked.
Just be happy I'm here.
Everybody's stoked to have Mike here with that radiating aura in the top right box. The only Flav. Whose dumpster did you find that Metcalf jersey in, Brando? JK. He seems like a good dude and a solid role model. It's the first diss for your Metcalf jersey. That's all right.
It may not last through the offseason. The Hawk fan base wants me to take it down too. So I don't know. I might get pushed into doing that at this point.
Is it autographed, Brandon?
It is.
That's a different. That changes the game there. It's not just like hanging.
I agree. It's getting triggering though. I go, take it down. Take it down.
Puppet Master, are you a Niners fan? F you. Shout out to Marshawn Lynch from Puppet Master.
Here so I won't get fined.
There it is, Kevin Thompson. I see better than I hear. Seattle needs to keep pace with Shanahan's offense. He's a death dealer. I look for a low-scoring, keep Purdy on the bench type game. Field goal wins it. Go Hawks. Shout out to you, Kevin. Best of luck to your Hawks on Saturday. Jay Gundy keeps it firing, saying in the big picture, it's feast or fathom. Feast or fathom. I like that. We've all been in fathom, and it sucks, but these NFC teams will be remembered in the feast section. Yeah, it's going to be some cannibalism here in the next couple of weeks. It's going to be interesting to see. A.O. Samoa, the Hawks will smack up the Niners 24-13 on Saturday.
Not holding them to 13 points. That's a pipe dream.
Wow. Yeah, that would be something. I don't want that. That doesn't scream game of the year to me.
I want a 42-38 game like we saw.
Yeah. There it is. Get that BTA out there, Brando. Yes, sir. Looking like what's his face up there? Miami. Why am I Michael Irvin? Michael Irvin. Get the trash can out over there, Brandon. Wu-Tang. Long arm of the law. Got a warrant out on Purdy. D-Law. Shout out to Wu-Tang. Appreciate you. Nate saying Vrabel had the easiest schedule in the league this year. Week 18, San Francisco versus Seattle. Decides coach of the year. It could potentially do so. We'll see what ends up happening. It might have some weight on it, right? I think if Shanahan wins it, that's probably the last little push needed. Wouldn't you guys agree?
I mean, yeah, I still think Shanahan should win it even if we win the game. So I love what Mike's done job-wise, but I don't know a lot of other coaches that could sustain the injuries that he has and have them in the position he does right now at this point in time of the year.
Catalyst. There are more players on the field than the quarterback. Aside from Brandon, y'all need to be more nuanced going forward. Quarterback play isn't that simple. Rant over. Well, we will see.
There are, but get big time games come down to the quarterback more often than not. I mean, we've seen this time in and time out. Yes, of course, there's a lot more. We can get into the defense and how do they match up in the trenches, and they're this and that, and here's a scheme. But ultimately, man, games get close and quarterbacks decide games a lot of the time. So yeah, when you're talking about two teams that are good and fighting for a division, I don't think it's not nuanced to go, hey, this quarterback is better than that quarterback, and that's who I trust. Like sometimes it's that simple.
And we're a nuanced show too, so I don't want to hear that.
Speaking of which, by the way, Garth wants to know Mike's thoughts on Darnold.
I hear you. Cool, third best quarterback in the NFC West. What do you want me to say? I don't know.
Oh man,
feed me more. Perna's wheel works first time. We got it. Half defense dead.
Buccaneers game was the Perna wheel for us there, Jakey. Was the Bucs?
How long does the Perna wheel last?
Just a one. there's sometimes some drippage. There's some leakage into the next week. I ain't gonna lie. Right. It's just a little leakage.
We'll see if the wheel keeps turning as we move.
By the second half, you guys were good, man. The leakage had finished by the second half, so it's
so funny.
Slimy. Best part about this stream is Jake telling me Rams fans aren't blaming refs, but every super chat is about the refs. Delusion runs deep with them.
Every super chat?
Every single one, man. We got about 190 of them tonight. I think every one of them was talking about
I gotta say, I think it was 189 of them at least that were about the refs. Yeah, you're right on that one.
Tell you one that isn't. It's Jay Gundy's here saying nobody's even going to mention the Rams screwed their draft pick and losing. Yeah, that was a little extra salt in the wound there on that loss for sure.
And yet, what's so funny to me is that if the 49ers lose and the Falcons drop the game, the Dolphins upset New England, the Bengals win against the Browns, I believe there's one more, but they still get a top 10 pick and they get the 5th seed, meaning that game basically didn't even happen.
You knew Jake was going to have the rebuttal, baby. He's still rooting for that top 10 pick, still could potentially get it.
I still think they get it.
Joseph saying 49ers will win the Super Bowl this season and Brock Purdy will be the Super Bowl MVP. Now he's going back on the opposite. Yeah, right. Come on, there he
Oh,
is.
Joseph, you lost your mask, man.
I
You
know.
got to stay with it. You just lost all that energy you built up now, and you just released it like a valve.
He's playing both sides here. The only Flav. If the most valuable player award actually meant what it says, there's no way you couldn't give it to CMC. The guy has carried a practice squad on his back all year, and they might get the 1 seed. It is odd. It doesn't feel like we've been talking about CMC all year.
Quarterback. It's because it's always a quarterback award. That's the why, Flav.
No doubt.
Well, to add on, by the way, the Kyle Shanahan Coach of the Year, because I know we were talking about that earlier. Not just what they've gone through with the injuries. To me, the thing that's most impressive, and Jesse pointed this out before the season, they trimmed the fat off this team. They ate like $80 million. They weren't supposed to be this good. They were not supposed to be playing for the 1 seed, and they didn't even really make a splash at the trade deadline. So, honestly, like, that's what I mean. Like, Shanahan being able to even have them in contention for the 1 seed in the final game of the year, that's Coach of the Year.
No doubt.
It's $100 million too, by the way.
It's crazy.
That's disgusting.
Crazy.
I bet the Saints are somewhere really wishing they did that.
Rel saying, I told Jesse after week 2 we'd win the West and the NFC. He laughed at me. Faithful then, faithful now. Rel always believing in his Niners.
Hey, man, more power to you. If that ends up happening, you called it, brother. You called it.
Impressive stuff. Garth saying, honestly thought the Arizona Cardinals had the best rivalry jersey. Seattle number 2, Rams number 3, and the Bay Boys number 4. There's a W for you, Mike. And you know I'm with you on that. I loved those Cardinals jerseys. Nobody else did. We'll see those Niners
bellies.
all black.
The skid marks, man.
Popcorn.
Nothing says
jelly
fierce more like
Stop
skid
it.
marks all over the
Stop
uniform.
it. Stop it.
Yeah, they're bugging, Mike. Those were fire. We will see the Niners all black unis on Saturday in that massive showdown. Daniel, Darnold put up 27 against the Texans. Niners D folding. Yeah, Darnold lighting up that top defense in the league. Right? Mike A. Stafford is MVP because you see what happens when he plays like crap. Team doesn't win when Stafford has a bad game. Matthew Drake May Stafford MVP. It will be interesting to see who ends up winning it when it's all said and done. And Feed Me More to round us out, saying Mike skipped my dono 1 month ago and he still holds a grudge. But we didn't skip this one, Feed Me More. And that will be the final Super Chat of 2025. This will be the final NFC West Roundtable of 2025, but it certainly will not be the final NFC West Roundtable. We'll be back right where you're at, same place, same time next week as we recap the game of the year between the Seattle Seahawks and the San Francisco 49ers, where the division and the 1 seed and, of course, the hat are all on the line. But for tonight, that is going to do it. For Brando, Mike, Jesse, and Jake, I'm your host, Z-Bot. Thanks so much for tuning into the NFC West Roundtable. Have a very, very happy New Year, and we'll see you on the next one.
Roundtable Sports Network is your one-stop shop for all things NFL, with daily live shows covering all 8 divisions in the league, hosted by the best content creators on the web, all on one network. Catch the AFC East live every Monday at 7 p.m. and on Wednesdays at 6 p.m. The AFC West Roundtable live Tuesdays at 6:30 p.m. The AFC North Roundtable live every Wednesday at 6 p.m. The AFC South Roundtable live Tuesdays at 7 p.m. The NFC East Roundtable live every Tuesday at 6 p.m. The NFC West Roundtable live at 9 p.m. on Tuesday nights. The NFC North Roundtable is at 6 p.m. on Wednesdays, and the NFC South Roundtable is live Tuesdays at 8 p.m. EST. And of course, fourth and forever, the flagship show of Roundtable Sports Network, covering all things NFL at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Roundtable Sports YouTube channel. Real coverage, real fans.